Right, hey guys, how we doing? Back with another video from Team 4-Star, of the 4-Star Bento channel. And a lot of you have been asking for me to do this for a while. It's New Year's Eve. I'm getting very, very drunk. I've got some very, very strong beers here, and I thought, you know what? This is nearly 2 hours long. Plenty of time for me to consume these drinks. While I was giving you guys what you want. Seeing the year off. Doing the Dragon Ball GTFS commentary wrap-up. I really enjoyed GTFS. It was such a fun series to see their perspective, their opinion on Dragon Ball GT, and it was a nice reminder for it. I thought it was very fun, and you guys seem to enjoy it as well. So we'll do this. I'll add it to the playlist, and yeah, hope you guys have a good Christmas. I hope you guys are going to have a nice New Year. Hopefully, this video goes up before New Year. If not, I've done something wrong. FS, yeah!
We made it!
Yeah.
It's done!
It's finished.
We watched all of GT and the special. Special sucked.
Woo! Kind of sucked.
So
Sorry.
did a bunch of GT.
Like a lot of it.
But not as much as the special.
So.
At least the special was shorter. But,
Yeah, but the special was weird.
no. I want to go through the... Do we want to go through this like bit by bit? Or do we want to go through this and just say like good, bad?
So that is interesting. How about this? How about we do a little bit of both?
Okay.
How about bit by bit we go through this series?
Okay, you can start with the first arc.
I really... Terrible.
The good, the bad, and the ugly.
Okay, so do we want to break that down by arc?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you know what? I usually wouldn't do this, but I'm going to do it for the sake of the audience who likes to separate the Black Star saga and the Baby saga.
Oh yeah, I would anyway.
Yeah.
You can't include lewd with baby, even though that's kind of the tweener period.
I would say that they're all technically connected.
But there is a clear shift in tone.
Yes, but they're like...
Oh god, definitely. It's like, all right, hard, we're going to travel. Then it's like, oh my god, people are going to die.
I will say the story really starts at the beginning and only really wraps up at the end of Baby.
It's kind of like, theoretically, the androids and Cell are the same arc.
Yeah.
But there is definitely a divide where it
Yeah,
stops
okay.
being the
Yeah,
android
yeah.
saga and starts being the Cell saga.
Yeah, but well, so for me, it's always the Saiyan, Namek,
Android.
androids, and Boo. That's how I separate it. For me, it's just the four. Now you can
Yeah, there's
smaller things.
The subsections.
I don't go as granular as Funimation did. They were like,
Oh yeah, but that was for like
Whoa.
box set release reasons.
Yeah.
Like you can break it down however much you want.
yeah. But let's start off with I'd say up until
The end of lewd.
well, okay. So the first bit. The good, for me, without any doubt, is that there are some really cute and fun episodes.
Yeah, there's some very good like
Some fun
first
moments, yeah.
episodes.
Yeah.
I remember actually enjoying the first episode where we're getting like, introduced to Pan, introduced to like where everybody is now, getting acquainted with the idea that Goku's a kid again, the kidnapping stuff. Like there were even like the bits that you would consider, all right, let's get through this. Were kind of cute.
Yeah, it's very funny to me because Funimation made that decision, and I think sort of maybe informed by Toei that, hey, these first batch of episodes are unlike what you just left off on. The audience might not appeal to this modern audience. So they made the decision to cut them, and upon rewatch, they were some of my favorite episodes of the show.
Yeah, some of them.
Right, they do seem good. I do understand why. Like, we all get why they didn't air these in the West originally. Straight out from Z. And majority of people wouldn't have been watching the original Dragon Ball series, so don't get the feel for it. So, I don't know, maybe I would have appreciated it if I was a Dragon Ball fan back in the day. But,
Like I could take
Okay, everything to do with lewd.
everything to do with lewd, good swaths of capitalism planet.
Yeah, so a lot of it could have been shortened. And that's so weird. Like, when you're talking about it, it's like, wow, I could tell you a billion places where you could have just cut stuff. Episodes could have been smashed together. Like, the show suffers from this incredibly slow pacing and meanders a lot. And also, just doesn't make a lot of sense, but, that's what it is.
Yeah.
I think we're getting a cold.
Yeah,
no.
those first bits, really good stuff. Like
Mate,
I love
that guy was cool.
like the giant planet.
Yeah, B Planet still stands out to me as like a. It's a top 10 moment of the show.
Yeah, because it's like
Damn.
it's what the show wanted to be at the start.
It's the idea of like the whimsy, the adventure. It doesn't always have to be. They didn't jump into like the idea of okay, we need to solve everything with violence until Lude kind of started. kicking
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's really disappointing to me that when they had started on the show, they had this whole plot written out, and then 3 episodes like they had finished
Only
3
3?
episodes, and they realized they had to rewrite a bunch of the stuff they had because it was already getting boring, which sucks because for me, I think that you could have had a lot more adventures like this if they had just gotten a little maybe a little bit weirder and a little less slowly paced.
It'd be interesting to see where it would have gone if they didn't have to change things up. It could be like Dimer. It could be like a slow build up. Like Dimer's had the time and everything on it, and GT it was like 3 episodes. Wow, 3 episodes in, rewrite.
Yeah.
Because there was a lot
They needed to do a lot more episode of the week kind of things, less arcs.
Yeah.
In the beginning.
Yeah.
Capitalism Planet being 3 episodes.
A bit much.
No,
You can resolve that in an episode.
Yeah, I mean that could have been 2. You could have done
It
that.
could have been
2.
2, but you could have resolved it in 1.
Yeah, the fact that it was 3 though, oh man.
The misery of their the entire second episode where they're just sneaking around, forgetting how to fly for no reason.
Yeah. No, the show's highly inconsistent.
Like crawling along, he's falling off. It's like you could just float along it.
That's what its characters can do. But no, sorry, good stuff. I also I don't mind a lot of the designs in the show either. There's some really creative stuff. The colors are a little weird. I was never a huge fan of GT's color palette specifically because it always felt way earthier, way more toned down. I feel like we were getting a lot of.
It was
pastels.
either way more toned down or way more vibrant than you expected. There was no in between.
Yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of the color palette all the time, but there's still a lot of really good visual moments in terms of gosh, sorry, I don't mean to I feel like I am digging for praise in this first part, but I actually still remember enjoying a lot of it. But I don't know, it's tough because every time I say a good thing, then I have to balance it out. And I'm
With
like,
something
I know it's
bad.
weird sandwiches. If we want to start with the good. The good is they had some very cute moments. It's clear that a lot of the adventure aspect stuff, specifically B Planet, really worked. Some of the space exploration stuff really worked. A lot of the overall stories that they were trying to tell, they worked. It's just that the pacing kind of
The
killed
execution
some of them.
is ugh.
And it's, I got to imagine, given the fact that they had to rewrite stuff, studio notes really messed with them in terms of okay, what are we doing? You can see the chaos early on, and it kind of culminates with the lewd stuff where that just felt like a schizophrenic nightmare.
That was mad. It was because it was I'm the bad guy. Oh no, wait, this is the bad guy. Oh no, wait, this is the bad guy. Oh, where's this person? He died off screen. Oh, okay, we're not very fully established on that, but oh, okay.
For a while.
yeah, no.
Then baby.
He's not the real boss. I'm the real boss.
There you go.
He's not the real boss. No, he's not the real boss. I'm the. No.
Do you remember in the opening where they had that segment where that giant knight is swinging a blade around? It's oh man, that adventure bit that we never got. I feel like that was supposed to be a part of that arc, and we just never got it because they needed to jump into something that felt more Z.
Maybe. I mean, I remember every time I was watching that in the.
Well, that entire society looked so medieval.
Also, why doesn't Trunks have his sword?
Tapion never showed up, man. What do you want?
I'm just saying, in the opening, he's got the sword. Why not give him the sword? He should have the sword. Give Trunks the sword back.
I'm still a firm believer that he should have never gone and it should have been Piccolo.
I mean, yeah.
Should have been Piccolo.
One set of Trunks.
I'll die on that hell.
Okay, fine. That's good.
Yeah.
I don't know. Oh, the opening's really good, and all the endings are very good.
Yeah.
Every ending is amazing. It's some of the
Fair.
best music Dragon Ball's gotten.
Oh yeah, the music from GT is fantastic. Even fans from all the other shows agree GT's soundtrack is fantastic. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, we get some fun character moments.
I remember Mark doing his review where it was like, what was it? He said he sat in a taxi or something and started humming along, and then the taxi driver knew exactly like the song or something. That's
Though it feels like for this first arc,
Random
we do
thing
kind of
to
want to
remember.
start. I don't know how much more praise I do have for this one. There are some interesting artistic moments, like Tan playing the video game. We
yeah, that was
meet
so
Giru,
Yes.
who not
Yeah,
immediately
Giru.
great,
Yeah,
but
no.
would eventually be the greatest.
Yeah, Giru only levels up
greatest.
as the show goes on, and Pan starts off good, gets bad, and
immediately.
then evens out.
Middles out, then just kind of
I
becomes.
feel like they didn't
somewhat
know
of
what
a
to do with
non-character.
her.
Yeah, she starts off so
Like,
strong.
what
at
is
the
her
beginning
character?
of the Shadow Dragons arc, but the moment 4-star shows up, it's over.
Just
She's not
out.
a character anymore. So she gets approximately like 6-7 episodes to be a character in the Dragon arc. It's sort of sad.
Even in the beginning arc, she shows up. She shows her personality. You know, a tough girl. She's the daughter of Son Gohan and the granddaughter of Goku and Mr. Satan. She's got like that fighting edge to her.
And then just
She's,
nothing. It's really cool opening,
you
really
know,
cool appearance, yeah.
tough, strong-willed, wants to be an adult. That whole coffee parfait scene was cute.
Yeah, it's remarkable how well the series starts out, if I had to be honest. As much as I really don't like turning Goku back into a kid and all of that, and the fact that Oob, the big character at the very end of the manga, gets immediately shunted, which, I'm still not getting over. That still sucks. That's
Yeah, that
bad
does suck.
storytelling.
It's impossible to pass a torch in Dragon Ball.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah.
But
There it is. it is.
good introduction.
Every
I
time
like
you
her
try,
introduction. I like
try
her
and make
character.
Gohan the main
Unfortunately,
character.
as soon as they go
No,
out
never
into
mind.
space.
As soon, right before they go off into space, and I get it, she's a kid, and that's mostly fine. But the show's had kid characters so far who weren't nearly as irritating. And
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, the big problem is she then had to take on not only being the annoying kid role, but also the mother role. So she had to be the one that nags.
She's
Right,
unfortunately
yeah.
given the Bulma role, which she is ill-suited for. She needed to have the Goku role. That was the entire point with her. She needs to be the Goku, but we already
But we
have
have
Goku,
and he's
yeah.
a kid again.
who
So
basically also
he spends the entire first arc just vibing in the background until it's time for him to finish the plot.
before it's time for him to do a Kamehameha. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
it's
his
like,
entire
only
thing.
Goku can beat
And
the bad
that's
guys.
So frustrating because Pan is this character that every time I see her show up in other stuff now, I love her. I'm sorry.
Superhero?
Superhero,
Fucking
fantastic,
I
yeah.
love-
It was so cool to see her
she's
do that, be
so
like that.
cute. Here, they start strong and then immediately drop the ball on her for arcs, and it's just I don't know.
She's just mean, petulant.
Like even in Super, where she's like, it's like kind of, it's not really filler, is it? Because it's its own thing, the Super anime. But when Pan has a moment, she's flying in space, she got the aura, and that's like, yo, that's so sick. Like people want Pan to be a good character.
To sum up the entire feeling of Pan, that desert episode.
Oh yeah, no, that desert episode is devastating for her character.
Absolutely abysmal for her character.
Yeah, just completely. It took whatever left we had of goodwill towards that character and wasted it by looking us in the eye and saying, no, Pan should not be here. She is actually a detriment to the mission. She should go home.
I'll never forget that cut. Because, that entire time, she
Yeah.
had just solved the previous arc, helped them solve the previous arc. And it's like, Pan, I'm going to go and prove to you that I'm just as good as all of you. I'm going to go get that Dragon Ball. Pan, where'd you go? Dead.
Ugh, I'm out of the
You
cow.
had to save her. And she's so mean to him.
The screwed up
All the
thing is
time.
this episode didn't need to exist. We didn't need an episode where Pan proves herself.
She had already proved herself.
Yeah, all this episode did was prove that she shouldn't be there.
Hmm.
So yeah, I don't know. The rest of the good stuff.
I feel like we did it.
Yeah, unfortunately in this first arc,
This first arc, strong beginning, great character moments, cute little adventures where they were.
yeah. Now let's get to the bad.
I feel like I've been
Yeah.
on that for a second, but if I want to go into other bad, everything about Lude, everything about Lude.
See, Lude could have worked to a certain extent, but it needed to be like maybe 2 episodes.
It was overly complicated.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
very much
weirdly
so.
Like they had the whip guy who turned people into dolls, who threw them into a jar
That powered up
Lude.
Lude.
And
Lude was a machine mutant made by Dr. Mew that
Mew,
we find
yeah.
out later. Again,
and Doll Taki exists.
And the constant switching out of who the big bad was got so hilarious that by the time we finally got to Dr. Mew, I thought it was over. But I
no.
wasn't, because it wasn't Dr. Mew.
But we'll get to that.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's insane. It's
so convoluted, unnecessary. The whip was apparently a character.
Cool
That
character
just
design.
blasted away in one shot. Super Saiyan is just really
Non-existent,
disrespected in the
yeah.
entire arc. Trunks goes Super Saiyan for the first time to throw away bricks.
It's like,
it's
I'm Super
it's abysmal.
Saiyan.
there's something I want to say right
Bricks.
now before I
Like,
forget this.
that is just not Super
because-
Saiyan.
And I'm going
Like, don't get me wrong,
just a little bit. Just to,
It is Super Saiyan, but it's just like saying it's just not utilized the way it's meant to be. It's like they're gonna be like, I'm finding a big bad. Oh no, it's like I've got this really, which he should just be able to throw away by himself. But
some people talk about Piccolo's death later on, and they say, well, don't look at it as his death in GT. Look at it as his death from the entire show. You do not want me to treat GT as if it's a part of the larger narrative, because the more you do, the worse things
it
are.
gets,
Yeah.
Because in terms of the power scaling, in terms of
just narrative flow.
narrative flow, characters' abilities, the use of certain characters, everything about it, GT only looks worse the more you try and connect it with its previous material, which you have to do no matter what. Obviously, you're connecting.
It's a
it.
continuation,
You're going from one to the other. But when people say, "Hey, you need to treat it as just a continuation," that hurts this because everything feels way more inconsistent, makes no sense.
And it's still super unearned.
Yeah.
Like the entire moment, but we'll get
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Like,
No, but I'm just saying, Super Saiyan. When do they use it? Can they use it? Can Goku use it? What does it mean? How powerful is Goku? We don't know. The series doesn't
he's
know.
still apparently stronger than Trunks as a child.
Yeah, and apparently he's stronger than Boo because
Yeah.
he fights off Rild.
Who is stated to be
stronger
stronger than
which, look,
Boo.
I'm okay. At this point, you sort of have to accept that there are other things in the universe that are apparently stronger than Boo.
Look, Jiro was able to create machines that were stronger than Frieza.
Yeah,
so
I'm just going to accept that Mew basically just kind of created, like, helped make these characters stronger. But, like, still, there's so many inconsistencies between the original manga and this show that
I actually want to get into like inconsistencies
Yeah.
a little later because I have like a whole
yeah
thing.
Yeah,
Oh,
But-
like
oh,
in terms of the bad of the Gather the Dragon Balls arc.
yeah.
Everything about Lude, the fact that Daltaki exists in general, just
Terrible.
that whole thing with him and Pan, just no,
I mean,
never again.
and then all the stuff when they're trapped in Lude and have to synchronize with each other. I
Awful.
was dying. It was so boring.
just
and
get this over with.
yeah,
Please.
Like I'm sure for kids this was like, wow, this is all weird and crazy.
I don't
But
know.
I can go back and I can watch like any of the old Dragon Ball stuff and find the charm there because it's not nearly as awkward or weirdly paced or nonsensical. Weird to say
No,
that
yeah,
Dragon Ball
is
as a manga
watchable.
is
Dragon
less
Ball is very
nonsensical than
watchable.
GT. Because like, Dragon Ball
Z, yeah.
It really isn't. It's got all of its own problems, many of which we've talked about. I mean, I could go on.
But
about
GT has
Boo.
more.
Yes, GT has just more. And honestly, I'm kind of sick of people saying, like, I've heard people saying, like, oh, you're nitpicking. There's nothing but nits. There's nothing but nits.
Do you like all of those nits in you, like, or would you like them gone?
Yeah.
There are so many nits.
Like, I'm sorry, it's not nitpicking.
It's an infestation.
Yeah, it's not nitpicking if after I
Oh
picked all the
my god, I have never thought of. I've never even questioned why it's called nitpicking before. It's just a phrase in my head, just to like be really. Oh my god. Wow! That's why it's called nitpicking. Sorry.
nits.
Oh my
everything is
God.
falling apart. Because all it's connected. Like, it's just so many little problems.
You need a
that build
special
and build and
shampoo for
build.
all of them.
Yeah.
Just like, it's
That has
yeah.
blown
The
my
entire
mind.
first part, and it was thrown into chaos due to the fact that they had to start rewriting like immediately, and they were already on a schedule.
Yeah.
So
Which is
it's hard
crazy.
to entirely
3
like,
episodes
blame
in.
the show, but what we got was bad because of what happened.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's just tough because, like, when the good stuff was happening, I was able to just kind of be like, okay, this is cute and fun, and this is working for me, and I'd be like, oh, good, all right, some good stuff, and then the next thing I know, I just get slapped in the face with something really dumb or really boring. Like, again, the lewd stuff. Yeah, it's probably the worst. It's probably the worst.
It is the worst of GT. Like, there's pacing problems later, but
Yeah.
lewd was awful.
Yeah.
The
Terrible.
best thing I can say about the lewd arc is that it was so batshit insane.
Oh, yeah, we
that at the
laughed.
very least, it's like enjoy a bad at times.
Yeah.
Until it gets just bad, 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 please end bad.
Yeah, at least we had stuff to talk about. At
Yeah.
least, like, we just watched the TV special. I felt like I barely had anything to talk about with that because it was just kind
Yeah,
of
that was
boring.
bland bad.
Yeah, this
Nothing
lewd
going on.
is just over the top crazy bad. I'll never get over the whip guy just getting murked out of nowhere, and that's it.
And his like really weird.
I really liked his
inconsistent powers,
design.
Where it's like, haha, I have whip arms, and these whips make things come to life.
Yeah,
And I can electrocute
That
you.
shit insanity. At the very least, it was doing some shit that kept your attention until it was just big baby lewd.
yeah,
Then it was insufferable.
yeah. No, that last bit with actual lewd sucks. It is not good, except for one part.
Para Brothers
Brothers,
giving up
yeah.
on their shtick.
Yeah, no, like that good stuff. Only good part.
Yeah, I'm even willing to like Para Brothers. I will stand by this. You can't fight me because you're wrong. Better in the dub. Like,
Yeah,
if
no,
anybody fights me on that, they are better in the dub.
No, I'll give it up. I'll give it up.
Yeah.
The dub version of them is just genuinely better.
They worked for what they did. Their segments, like the parts where they were the main problem, probably lasted a little too long.
Yeah,
But
the
at least
timing.
they had kind of like an interesting resolution to their plot. They essentially won until the worms wiggled their way in.
Yeah.
The Wiggly
but
Worms.
once we got to Lewd Planet, the fewer and fewer, like the more obstacles we got through, the worse it got.
Yeah. By the way, for anybody, I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but like for a lot of people, like, oh, you should have watched it dubbed. No.
I tried.
No.
I tried. I understand why he didn't.
I love it as
And I
quotes.
understand that a lot of people are like, well, this is better in the dub. I don't care.
Some things are. Some things definitely are.
Yeah, I'm not saying they're not. I'm just saying I don't care because I'm not watching the dub because this
It
is
defeats the purpose of what you want to
Yeah.
do.
I wanna
Yeah, it
watch-
was meant to be watching it in the way that it was intended to be watched to get an opinion on the actual like thing that
the
was
actual
created.
show
Yeah.
and not an adaptation of it. Which, oh man. So,
Let's move on to kind of like it. We got to go into that like
Dr.
kind of
Mew.
sweet area, but where it's Rildo to baby.
I'd say that like we're already getting Mew now. So I'd say where the American release started
Yeah.
is basically where I'd say the baby arc starts.
Kind of, yeah. The Machine Mutant Saga.
The Machine Mutants.
Rildo, like the
Rildo-
robot planet, it has a neat design, but once again, it kind of suffers from a lot of pacing issues.
This is where they tried to go Z with like, we need really powerful bad guys now.
Because we get this introduction of, oh, this is Giru's planet, and Giru wants to go there, and there's something that's kind of messing with his head a little bit. They end up going there, and next thing we know, everything goes to shit. Rild is putting Trunks in carbonite. There's a big fight going out. Pun keeps trying to get into the hospital or the base.
Yeah,
and keeps getting thrown out.
Yeah, both Goku and Trunks get kidnapped. The Sigma Boys existed.
Boys?
They got some
Sigma
interesting techniques
for a
for
little bit.
like
Rildo
robots.
absorbs them. Rildo overall better than I remember. Like I thought he was fine as a villain, middling but fine. And he had when he and Goku were doing their one-on-one, interesting set pieces. I love that bit in the movie theater.
Oh yeah. That fight is great.
okay, yeah.
like, damn it. That is one of those moments where I'm like, wait, I'm enjoying myself. Unironically, I'm having fun with this.
And then
GT, what are you doing?
That, and it led to my favorite, essentially like internal meme of the entire thing with Giru just being this special little guy. I love him. Oh, he's fucking robot!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah! so good. I just love little Giru being treated like this war hero, and he's just so shiny and proud. He got a medal. He's getting fed all the stuff that he wants because he's giving them everything. I love him.
Yeah.
Giru deserves his flowers. Let him keep his flowers. And stop killing him. He dies more than Krillin.
He gets knocked around a lot. But yeah.
Yeah, he does.
The entire Rilled stuff, it's not bad. I mean, it's not great.
They definitely had too many ideas for him.
Yeah, they had too many ideas, and also, again, the pacing in this show is so weird. Like the whole thing with Pan trying to get into the headquarters only to keep being thrown out. Guys, you've got to. I mean, I say, guys, you've got to.
It's been done.
Yeah, it's been done. But like, don't pace your stuff like this.
Yeah, a lot of things got like long in the tooth.
Yeah.
And
part of that kind of feels like they were like, oh shit, we need to buy time because we had to rewrite all of this stuff.
And we need to get to something that's a much more interesting concept.
Yeah.
Like the Rildo fight with Goku, while it does have like a few interesting moments here and there, drags on. He gets too many transformations. Like he starts off and he like has some fun abilities where he's able to like kind of like morph into things, fire rocket punches,
And then he takes all those robots in, and then he becomes
and pulls him back
like
in. Cool shit. Then they
cooler
decide, you know what?
second
What if he absorbed
form?
the signal
Well,
bolts? Then he has a jetpack for no reason, and he can do drill attacks. Fuck it.
you know,
He's
what-
liquid metal now.
What you call the cool? Yeah, but
They
anyway.
couldn't decide what to do with him.
Yeah, and he has no personality either.
Meta
he's
cooler,
just a
isn't it?
big,
That's what he
tough
looks
guy
like.
who wants to like rule.
Only one, maybe two of the villains in this have any personality.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely say that.
Baby had the most personality of any.
Yes, definitely.
Baby's the best villain in all of GT, and it's not even close.
Yeah, by concept, by design.
Oh yeah, he's right. Yeah, you think about it. I was about to be like, what? But yeah, he has motive, and you can get behind it, kind of. I mean, you at least understand why he's doing it. Not like, yeah, go for it. It's like I do get why he's doing that, and it was kind of cool. Yeah, Super Android 17 and Omega Shenron, just random. Yeah,
By
okay.
overall threat level. Yeah.
Hell, I'd even say by the Rilled stuff, it's just sort of there. It's just to get us to Baby. And you know what?
It happens. There's some interesting stuff in between. There's some fun moments in between.
Yeah.
But it definitely had a fair number of ass pulls.
Yeah.
Like Trunks just kind of having this whole thing planned out, even though him and Giru just planning something off screen felt a little convenient.
Oh no, that's all bullshit.
Yeah.
There's no
also,
way.
All the dialogue is really inconsistent about like, oh wait, so did you hack the system? Did you put in a virus? What did you do? And I will never, ever get over the moment where they are standing there
While
watching
Mew is desperately trying to save Baby.
Yeah. At what point? I'm
And
sorry.
then-
Somebody had to be like, okay, we gotta.
We should probably stop him.
Yeah.
Yeah, should we just
stop him?
intervene?
Roll up the thing in the tube so it can't be saved. What are we doing here? What are we doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And at that point, like, probably so many things just kind of become an afterthought as soon as the next thing is introduced. Rildo just disappears. He just disappears after the final fight, and they're like up there with Mew. That's it. He shows up one more time.
Yeah, I can't.
Oh, so we don't
remember how
actually
he
find
died.
out what happened.
I'll remind you here in a second
Right.
because like we get
Huh.
introduced to Baby in a really cool kind of creepy moment. Again, that whole Mac Tonight thing.
Yeah.
But Baby, throughout this entire thing, is always weaker than our heroes. Like always on the back foot until the Vegeta starts.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
That's actually one of my
A
favorite parts.
conniving villain that
He's
needs
trying,
the power of
yes.
others to be strong.
I mean, honestly, it's a return to our favorite version of Cell. Why the hell
bit,
wouldn't we
yeah.
like it?
Just kind of in reverse. Like he needs to take over the body to be like strong.
Yeah.
And they blow up. They assume they kill Baby, but as long as a trace of him exists, he gets
Yeah.
into Mew, and then Mew gets killed with a real sick sort of like xenomorph. out.
Yeah.
And this is the part of Baby that I love. The parasitic nature that he's just going to attach to somebody, take everything,
Cool
like
concept.
all of the stuff that he needs to grow, and then discard them as he sees fit.
And then the Dragon Ball, I know it.
And eventually just take control of them. That's how Rildo died, randomly. Baby just ended up in Rildo for no reason other than to be like, by the way, I'm still here.
Right? It's so weird. It's so weird. But yeah, now that we're on Baby, Baby is
By concept, the best villain.
by concept.
Yeah,
and
I agree.
would say largely by execution. They were obviously
This was some of the best stuff in the show.
Yeah.
Like,
I
mean, none of the other
early
villains
stuff
are
of
executed
Baby,
well.
especially when it's just him on Earth, slowly consuming the entire planet, while
Very cool.
Goku and Trunks and Pan are out there gathering the remaining Dragon Balls. We have those few episodes early on where they save Green Boy, go to the hospital planet, and Baby's just kind of lurking throughout that,
And
where
that-
he's, taking over the hospital little by little, escaping by plane, attacking them, getting into Trunks for the first time, which is cool. We're getting introduced to this new type of villain that, by all intents and purposes at the moment, can't stand up to our heroes at all.
No.
But is
He's
learning
finding
more about them,
ways, yeah.
is learning more about himself and growing in power, and is just kind of this looming threat in the background.
Now, the one thing that does bother me is that, like, there's the whole thing about the fact that he's a Sufurian. Sufurian.
A Tuffle.
A Tuffle.
Ah, okay, yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
going to go with Tuffle for right now, just because Sufurian is a
That's
fucking
the
mouthful,
Saiyan
right?
history.
Whatever. When it comes to that whole background for him, it's an interesting idea, but it never feels real to me.
Yeah.
And that's largely because his character, first of all, he's really fun to listen to because the actor's doing great. His performance is so creepy and so different from any other Dragon Ball villain we've ever heard that I was immediately enthralled.
Yeah, it's very cold, calculated, a little underplayed.
Yeah, it's very soft. Something that I don't think the dub nailed as well. And so, like, watching through it, I'm like, oh shit, I love the way he sounds. I even like the way he looks. But in terms of his whole, what do you call it? His motivation?
Pathos, yeah, his motivation.
Like, he's like, oh, you dirty Saiyans. But it's like, I never feel it. Because largely means he's always just got this.
It's like we're just being told that's his
there's never
motivation.
this look on his face where he's like disgusted.
It's something that's like baked into him, but doesn't really
Part of his
like,
DNA.
It kind of manifests itself, and there's this like poetic idea that the Saiyans overtook Planet Tuffle and turned it into Planet Vegeta, and then he overtakes Vegeta and kind of like takes on more of his. So like it's almost like this Saiyan nature overtakes him a little bit. Like there's this
He
poetic
becomes-
dichotomy that they kind of play with
He slowly becomes the thing he's meant to hate.
the characters. It just
Excuse me.
doesn't really like. I could see an essay being written on it, but I could also see a lot of that essay being fluff and bullshit.
Yeah, because a lot of it is implied and so, like it never really. It's never stated and it's never really explored. It's just kind of like
We're
it's
told what
stated.
he's meant to be
Yeah,
feeling.
and I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I mean, that's sort of interesting.
Yeah, at least he has a motivation.
It reminds me a lot of Zamos. I really liked Zamos, and I liked his whole motivation. Like, oh, these filthy human beings are wrecking the world,
And they're trying to gain, like, to attain godhood. I'll
Yeah.
show them.
Yeah, and it's like for a minute there, it's really good, but at some point, they kind of
You're not seeing it,
It
yeah.
just becomes like, oh,
Now
well,
I'm evil.
Yeah,
And just kill everybody.
Now I'm evil, and I'm past that, and it's like, oh, but that whole conflict was interesting.
cool,
I would
yeah.
have played more with that. I would have done more with that. And
Yeah,
that's sort of the problem with a lot of this stuff is like, hey, you have these headier concepts, but it always feels like we're coming up short when it comes to actually exploring the characters, which, isn't the worst thing. Dragon Ball's full of a lot of simple characters that are very effective. But it just kind of reminds me like, oh man, there's just a lot with Baby there that I would have wanted more of.
Yeah, but it is some of the more interesting stuff that we ever get. Like, while Goku, Trunks, and Pan are off doing the remainder of the Gathering the Dragon Balls adventure,
Baby's down on the planet.
the entire chunk we get with him just slowly overtaking
Is
everybody on
fun,
Earth
yeah.
is probably one of the best parts of this show.
Yeah.
Like, it has some fun moments. Dude, like, jacked middle manager dude blowing up the store.
Like, who is it? Is it Gohan fighting Vegeta? Like slamming his face into the floor. Like that's some really cool Z bit. You know what I mean?
The giving Goten actual
Oh, it's
time and
Goten.
to shine.
I know, right?
Was it Goten?
It's so funny to me because those moments in that part of the arc, I was like, oh shit, okay, these are a good stretch of episodes. I'm into this plot. I'm digging it. And then I remember like Piccolo, like the whole thing with Vegeta, all that stuff where like Vegeta has to fight against Goten and Gohan.
So
and with that sick
both of
fight,
them,
the
right?
best-
It's a fun set piece. It's short, but it's well paced and it's well, like, it felt good.
It's also the best looking fight in the show.
Arguably.
Damn.
But it's got some cool moments. We see like this slow build with Baby. By the way, I'm going to point this out now in case anybody missed it. The Baby was on Earth for approximately 2.5 to 3 months, and the first thing that he does is that he takes over Goten and Gohan, and then hits Piccolo, blasts Piccolo. 'Cause
Yeah,
Piccolo
blast Piccolo with Gohan's Kamehameha.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I'm saving this for later. But-
we already talked about it.
I know, but I have to bring it up again, and I want to remind people now, because beats
2 months.
Piccolo,
2 months pass
Yeah, beats
before
Piccolo.
Goku gets back.
takes over Vegeta, and then, like off screen, which I'm okay with. I do feel like, unfortunately, when this happens, everything with Goku, Trunks, and Pan suddenly just becomes like
No, I was happy with that because their little adventures were actually really cute.
they're little side.
So you got all the bad, nasty,
like, they're
dark
great
stuff
in-
happening,
like,
and then
until they get back, and then we find out like the entire world has been infected. Babyfied. They've all got a little baby in them now. And it's a really cool setup, by the way. Having your heroes come back to Earth, but it is now
Yeah,
completely
invasion of the body snatchers
Yeah.
is happening.
Yeah, way to go. That's a really cool setup. But this is where things start to go wrong.
Yeah, I mean, not immediately, because I'd say it doesn't get bad until Goku gets blasted by the Dark Spirit Bomb the first time.
As I said, this is where it starts to go wrong.
Yeah.
Because one of the first things that happens that kind of like we find out that he laid eggs in Trunks. So Trunks
Oh, yeah, that was
decides,
weird.
It's just Goku and Pan. They go home, and then they find out like that moment when they're at home and Videl and Chi-Chi are acting weird is actually really unsettling. I love that scene. But then they very quickly find out, whoops, nope. Turns out,
Oops, all babies.
Yeah, whoops, all babies. Goku then has to fight Gohan and Goten. And it starts out kind of cool. It's an interesting concept,
It's okay.
like having to fight your
I
kid.
barely remember the fight itself.
Then Vegeta.
it's kind of off-putting seeing Goku in base fight people in Super Saiyan, but he probably could
Just shows up.
Who's the main body
at
of
this
Baby.
point.
And that's when the fights start.
And all of his
ooh,
various transformations. And
these fights are bad. They're very bad fights.
they're not good. They're like, I still remember Super Saiyan 3 defeated? It's like, well, okay, whatever.
Cool.
But the way Super Saiyan 3 is defeated is boring as fuck.
It's crazy to me that Goku can go Super Saiyan 3, but can't
Do-
teleport.
yeah,
He
can't-
use his
One of the
instant
many inconsistencies.
Yeah.
Until he can. So he fights Vegeta and gets the shit kicked out of him. No matter what happens, Vegeta, like baby Vegeta, keeps transforming into worse and worse looking forms. In my opinion, I think his best look is the like fucking cyberpunk lines.
Oh, you
I would say,
think?
his final look grew on me a lot.
I like the
I know,
final
like,
one.
that's the one most people think of when they think baby.
Yeah.
I'll say this: when the good art team is out, that form looks pretty cool. In
Yeah. Hey, no. Yeah, when he's animated good, it looks real good. Like, that's my favorite one. I think that's my favorite one.
It looks horrendous. And GT's got some ugly.
I still need to get the Funko Pop, actually.
Episodes.
Very much so. Although some of those are enjoyable.
I'll check later if I can get it.
For their own reason.
But-
yeah, as soon as Goku gets blasted by the Dark Spirit Bomb and sent to Mario Party.
Oh, so dumb.
So good things in this arc. Baby.
No, I'm done with good things. Good things have happened. Super Saiyan 4's design. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
I love Super Saiyan 4. I love Baby. I like Baby. I like Baby. He's a good villain. I feel like there's a lot left on the table, and the way that the way he's beaten sucks. I'm sorry. That final fight is bad, and I will argue that.
I've come around a little bit on his ultimate defeat, while still super anticlimactic. He was always a coward and running away.
No,
it makes sense
but
for
that
him
was
to
never-
lose there.
That was never my problem.
Oh,
The
yeah.
no. But like, and I think some people miss that, and I'll go into what I actually mean because
When we get there.
yeah, but like, one thing I need to mention right now, and this is a problem throughout the entire show. In the comments, And again, please respectfully, tell me why anyone likes the music of GT. I am very confused.
Are you talking about the music that we heard?
Yes. The music, the background music, the score.
Like the Japanese score?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't look. I'm glad we used the Japanese score. I've heard the American score. It's boring. Where at least at the Japanese version is weird and different and sometimes obnoxious.
Absolutely bizarre.
But I don't get it. I grew up maybe it's because I grew up with Shinsuke Kikuchi's score.
I wonder why they didn't just stick with Kikuchi's score. Like, would they have had to pay the licensing fees or something?
I don't.
I love how they go into not just what we're seeing, but what we're hearing and everything like that as well. It's always a good discussion going on there. I don't think I've ever took the time to listen to the OST. Like intros, outros, cool. But yeah, I wouldn't. No opinion on my half here.
No, I genuinely don't understand. The guy that they put in there had never done.
Yeah, we talked about that.
It's nuts to me, and I
They've
don't.
never done a score before.
So people who
Never
like the
done
score,
music?
I'm very curious what your perception is of it down in the comments because I would love to know.
Like there are certain times where like what they throw in there is kind of fitting, but most of the time
There's some really good tracks.
there are some,
There are some tracks that.
but there are some really bad ones.
Yeah.
Obnoxiously bad.
And the placement. Ooh, the placement.
I'll never forget Goku and like the episode we opened on Goku and Trunks being kidnapped, and it's just this like very peaceful sounding happy music. It's like, what the fuck's happening here?
Yeah, I don't. But but yeah, no. The rest of the good is, I really like Majub's design.
And
Yeah,
Boo's
that's
goodbye.
sick.
Satan had some fun moments.
Oh yeah, good. Yo, Satan is top throughout. The best, most consistently, I liked Satan in this show.
There were a lot of why is he here, but I'm never sad that he's here.
Yeah, no, it's like
Very
I don't know why
happy
you're
to see him on
but I'm
screen.
glad you are.
Yeah,
Yeah, in his moments with Pan, actually, those two together usually are pretty good.
Yeah.
Like
he's a doting grandfather.
Yeah, granddad energy.
Yeah, there's the pacing is the worst part, and the Mario Party stuff, awful.
Oh,
the literal ass pull. I know
Like,
I understand the need for it, but oh my god, does it fucking drag?
I don't know what the idea with the Mario Party stuff was. I don't get it.
You didn't need the Tanuki. It felt like they just needed filler. Like, because those two never show up again. It's not like they're hanging
No,
on the couch.
they're not important.
Oh my god, you're right. They don't even become recurring characters. They
No.
just show up and then they leave. Yeah, I'm sorry. Those episodes are very bad. They don't they're just there to keep Goku from the action and help give him a level up. And I'm sorry, they're all bad. Especially considering in the meantime, like we have
two episodes of that bullshit.
It's like, could they not think of anything like what was the thought process? We need a way for Goku to transform and get his tail back. Right, okay, let's have these two random green creatures create huge pliers that say it out loud. It's ridiculous.
the laxatives, which is kind of
I
funny.
like the poop pills. I thought it was funny.
But and then Oob shows up, which hey,
He
cool.
looks
Finally.
Nice to
really
see you,
freaking
man.
cool.
And the narrator's like, "Can he hold him off while Goku recovers?"
Yeah,
No.
Fucking.
Now, I will say what they ultimately end up doing with him does help them save the day.
It
so I'm
does.
at least glad that something with Oob does pan out. But that is also going to be the last moment that Oob is
We
actually
get,
relevant
yeah,
in the
so
show, save a filler
stupid.
episode. So it
He's
sort of
barely
sucks.
relevant there.
Yeah, it sort of sucks. It actually just sucks.
If you're not Goku, leave.
Yeah,
It was such a cool idea to have Boo and Oob morph together because it's like they're kind of the same person and it makes sense. It was so awesome. I said it in the video where they talked about it. I was like, yeah, I'm ready to watch this. This is a girl! Oh my god! And then it was just like, oh.
GT stands for Goku time.
Yeah, it's Goku time
But-
or Giru time, depending on
Giru time.
depending on your taste.
But
Oh.
yeah, the moment that Goku starts facing off against Baby the first time is where everything just immediately goes downhill for me.
It
everything
hits a
after
wall,
that,
and-
everything after that has a couple of highs, but it just drops
we
to
get
a certain
yeah,
base level.
Eventually, Goku comes back, and we get that kind of like slight slump of a comeback. But he's always on the back foot until he turns into Giant Gold Monkey.
Yeah.
At which point he does the rampage. We have that cute scene with him and Pan where she convinces him to, dude, chill the fuck out.
Also, who decided to give voice? Why the voice? Yeah, it's bad. I'm sorry. I love you. I love Nozawa Masako very, 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 very much. That was awful. Yeah, no, that just it was so silly. I hated that.
They just needed to low, like they needed the regular Ozaru roar. That's all.
Yeah, that's all they needed. But
Surely
Then we
they
get
could
two
have had
different-
like something in stock sound, or like no, like stuff from past. They could have just sampled over and just tweaked or something.
Saiyan 4 transformations.
the first one is awful,
Super
and the second one is really good.
In Super Saiyan 4, fun design. His run back on Vegeta, like baby Vegeta, fun. But then,
Karate chop to the neck.
oh god, does it overstay its does that bit overstay its welcome by a long shot, especially after baby turns into Golden Monkey.
Yeah.
It's this is where I die a second death.
Yeah, the stuff between Goku and Baby when they're like both normal size. There's a couple of really good action shots. I was actually kind of getting into it, but then like, oh yeah, no, we're gonna turn him into Golden Monkey. Which,
And there's even some of that which I enjoyed, like Goku's like hip toss using the finger. Like there's some
Yeah.
fun things there.
and I actually sort of like the fact that it's a parallel to Goku versus Vegeta. That first like
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because it makes sense that he'd be able to control it. We've said this already. His consciousness within the form, because Vegeta was able to. So it's like
now it's all different and weird, and like I kind of dig that.
But then they take a nap for an episode.
Oh my God.
And the tragedy that is the Super Gallic Gun. The tragedy of the Super Gallic Gun. It's so miserable.
How did Goku run out of energy and stay Super Saiyan 4?
It's
Why does the Super Gallic Gun basically like make a crater the size of what Piccolo Jr. did
yeah. Why didn't it blow
at
up the
World
planet?
Tournament? Why is like I understand power scaling is tough at this moment, but you've got to sell the strength of these attacks. You've got to sell the strength of these
just
characters.
don't let it hit Earth. That's all you had to do is just have it be deflected away so it doesn't hit Earth. Or maybe it like does what the Final Flash did and just kind of grazes it and now you have this big valley or something. I don't know. Like just show the power of that move. Otherwise, it is what it is.
No
which
one
is
cares,
not a
yeah.
threat.
Yeah. Also, like, don't have Goku just sit there while somebody charges their attack and then says, "Oh no, I don't have time to counter it." Well, yeah, because you were sitting there watching him charge it, you idiot. Sorry, I hate that final battle. I hate that final
bad.
battle.
It is annoying,
It
isn't
ruins
it?
the rest of what was like a really well set up arc.
I mean, I don't know if it ruins the rest of it necessarily.
Well, yeah, okay, it doesn't ruin the rest of it, but it certainly tarnishes the entire arc because that's what you're left with.
I mean,
Well, yeah.
I mean,
That and his big burning butthole.
Yeah, because in here's the
Damn.
thing. When I talk about like why I don't like the ending, why I feel like it's not that he tries to escape and gets blown to the sun. That part's fine.
It makes sense. He's
Yeah.
he's trying to live to fight another day, but no.
Yeah, it's the lead up to that that
Ah.
sucks.
And it is a bit of an anticlimax.
Yeah, like the whole fact that first of all, no, I'm sorry, Goku can't just turn energy good and then absorb it into himself. This is absurd.
He does it later. I'm fine with it.
He
Oh,
does it later. You mean when he purifies the ball as Super Saiyan Gogeta?
Yeah, purifies the power ball.
Yeah.
It's something. Remember, every time his body gets hit by an attack, it learns.
I know, and I hate that too. Don't get me started on how much I hate him purifying the ball.
we'll get there.
But like, I'm sorry, the fact
Purify
that
the
he has
balls.
the ability to absorb other people's energy out of nowhere. No, I'm sorry, I don't buy
If
it. I
they
don't
had
like it.
seeded
Excuse
the idea
me.
of it earlier,
Yeah, but seeding ideas in GT,
they didn't have the time or the forethought to.
deathly allergic. And it's just like then he takes in the energy, then he uses a blast to blow off his tail, and that's it. That's the end of the fight. Because for some reason, when Baby shrinks down, he's too big for Vegeta's body.
Okay, there's a few things to that. The fact that he lost the golden monkey form, he's not winning that fight
no,
anymore.
he's not
like
winning-
so I think his idea is I'm going to try to slip away.
I mean,
yeah, just not very
I'll
well
take that.
explained
It's still
in
bad.
there.
him trying to
yeah.
get away is fine. Although again, my point is he flat out says he can't stay in Vegeta's body now, which that makes no sense to
Yeah.
me. That makes no sense. There's a way you can make it make sense, but you have to then give your own particular reason that's not given by the series, and that's not good writing. I'm sorry. So like, everything that leads up to that sucks.
And
He does the stupid absorb the attack thing, takes down Baby, blows off his tail, he shrinks down and escapes and gets blown up. That sucks. If there had been a big climactic showdown where Goku had pulled out the win at the
Shut
last
up. Right,
second,
so just pausing this for a second. This is how stupid people in my country are. It is 5:20 in the afternoon right now on New Year's Eve, and I've just heard people setting off fireworks. Just throwing that out there.
and beaten like
Or even like have it be a thing where all of the people of Earth are, they get cured, right? Like, the Blackwater mist gets expelled or whatever the fuck, and just have like everybody join together, and you have like the dark spirit bomb versus the regular spirit bomb, or even Yajirobe gets cured and he cuts off the tail. Have it be like an homage. Just
That would be
something. Somebody else
sick.
cut off
I'd
that
love to
fucking
see
tail.
that.
Imagine if he'd thrown that dark ball, and then he's trying to hold it off the best that he can, and then the rest of humanity starts giving him power, and suddenly the next thing you know, this big blue ball starts to appear in his hands. That would have been so cool.
Yeah, the idea, or like even kind of mixing the two ideas of Goku trying to purify it and push it back, and it's like all of the people that are being cured, like giving Goku their energy, all of the people that are still babies giving Baby their energy, and it's all of a sudden it starts shifting in the other direction.
Yeah, have it be this big climactic moment, but we never get that. There is no big climactic moment.
Sorry, just checking my emails because I was waiting for a Funko Pop to be arrived at a specific spot for me, and it is there's a recent Golden Frieza from Dragon Ball Super where he has the halo and he's making a blast. It looks freaking cool, and I pre-ordered it like 2 months ago, maybe a month ago, and I'll be picking that up in a couple of days.
being blown up is
Sorry.
my problem. If we'd gotten
Again, let's all be on this. I am drinking very, 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 very strong beers. I'll probably be very drunk at the end of this.
big climactic moment, just like
And
with Vegeta.
then he gets blown up.
Yeah, instead of like where Vegeta like gets away, instead of letting him get away, this time Goku's like,
I'm just
nah,
gonna shoot him
you
into
suck.
the sun.
Yeah, like that would have been fine. I would have been okay
Yeah,
with that.
you can continue that sort of parallel.
But yeah,
Uh,
no,
And it only gets worse.
yeah, oh yeah.
Because back to Piccolo, poor man.
So to recap, 2.5 months ago, he was hit by a Kamehameha.
That's true.
He is now still damaged by this Kamehameha.
Still wounded.
It makes no sense. Shows up
Not at
because
all.
Goku,
Namekians heal. Namekians heal.
they decide that they're going, like, basically they all decide, okay.
Let's move
Earth-
everybody to Planet Tuffle. Earth's about to blow up.
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
because of technicalities and the Dragon Balls never being put back in the resting place, the timer never got reset. Earth is going to blow. We need to get everyone on Earth onto Planet Tuffle.
And Piccolo's like, I'm going to stay here because if I die, then there aren't any more Black Star Dragon Balls because Kami and me made them back when we were one dude. Why not just kill him right there and save Earth?
I don't know if that works.
Why the hell wouldn't it?
I don't know. Would nullifying the Dragon Balls, would that nullify the that nullify the Black Star Balls? Because it makes very little sense. Because if you think about it, who do those belong to? Do they belong to Piccolo or do they belong to Kami?
Pick-a-me.
like-
the pick-me.
Yeah, it's weird. It's hard to tell like who those balls belong to, and if Piccolo dying, I guess Piccolo dying it means they belong to him.
Yeah, the entire idea is
So-
like if I die because like these Dragon Balls were made by the Namekian that Kami and the Kami and I were and are now. That's why they exist. We tried making them, but they were impure.
But the problem to me is
It's so
why
confusing.
die? Oh, what? So like the people are gonna find the Dragon Balls again? Probably. I don't know.
Maybe Earth couldn't be restored if they were still
We're still
out there somewhere.
alive?
I
I
don't
mean,
know.
maybe if that were a thing, like as long as the Black Star Balls exist, like Earth will never be able to be restored. If that were it, I would be more okay with this death. I would accept it.
It does seem
more.
like a strange sacrifice.
And then there's another
Excuse
idea of like, why
me.
die? Just move everybody to Planet Tuffle. All of a sudden, that's new Earth. Just,
There's a lot of problems there, though.
is there? Like, sure, like you have that whole like post-blip scenario in Marvel where it's like, oh, now we're confused because now we have to rebuild society. But
Also, you know what's fucked up?
Plantuffle just diss a fucking Piers.
Yeah, I still need to.
No clue why.
I think there was a piece of dialogue we might have missed.
Probably.
I'm sorry. But no, here's another thing. Remember at the end of Boo, where they kind of rewrote everybody's memories, like, oh, something bad happened, but nobody knows what.
Yeah,
like,
to get rid of the memories of Boo.
yeah, not this time. This time it's just like, yeah,
Everybody remembers.
yeah, everyone remembers what happened. Like they've given up on that entirely.
Yeah. Humanity just lives in fear of the next cosmic threat. But goddamn, again, the entire Piccolo thing, super unearned. Because, like you said, some people are like, you have to look at it as if it were a continuation of his character from the first time you're introduced to him. Okay, but even then, who gives a shit? Like, because we've only seen him twice this show. The last thing, like the last bit we ever got from Piccolo ever was he taught Trunks and Goten fusion.
Yeah, the last thing we see from Piccolo, you know, is besides the stuff that's at the end of Z. In this, and here's a bigger problem. He's still not a part of this story.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, he needed.
Yeah,
to
he
be
has
part of
nothing
the
to do
story
with it, yeah.
Because this story is now ending with a character who wasn't a part of it. This story, not all of Dragon Ball, the Black Star Dragon Ball arc, he wasn't a part of it.
No, not at all.
Once, gets Kamehameha'd, apparently never heals. and then
Disappears. Also was never taken over by Baby.
yeah, and then shows back up to die. That sucks.
That's
I'm not
terrible.
into that.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't care how loud.
Like if
Gohan
you
screams.
can take something from that and it means something to you, I'm happy for you.
Yeah.
Like you do you. Everybody
Excuse
experiences
me.
media differently.
Yes.
But for my analysis, for like how it feels to have a character that is important in Dragon Ball.
In the grand scale of Dragon Ball, then in this series, completely ignored and then made to feel important.
Or to go out like that without any
Setup.
setup.
Yeah, just out of nowhere.
Any good justification? Because again,
Why would you care about these two people right now? Like, yeah. Gohan, Piccolo, Z, yeah, but where's this come from? We've not seen them interact with each other growing up within this series. There was no interaction with them older like this. Like they said, Piccolo's not been in this. We have not had much interaction with Gohan either, so like, it's so forced.
I don't buy it.
He could have moved to Tuffle.
Yeah, he could have moved. They could have found They could have found the Dragon Balls again and hidden them better. I'm sorry, the Dragon Balls were always going to exist. Oh, this one can blow up the Earth if we don't get it in a year. Who cares? If a bad guy got the Dragon Balls again, they could do any number of what you're telling me is that we shouldn't have Dragon Balls because what if
which might be the moral of the entire story.
In the grand scheme of
That
things.
entire thing unearned. Again, if he had gone on the adventure with them, if he had been a part of the story, if like there was some redemption that he was working toward, then it would have been
Makes
earned.
sense.
Although, so this is really funny. I've had a bunch of Spanish-speaking fans on Twitter be like, "Yeah, it's not a great moment, but in the Spanish dub, he calls Gohan son, and we all love that." And I'm like, "Oh, that is cute." I mean, I personally wouldn't do that because I always think of Piccolo as a uncle figure.
Yeah.
But the fact that he calls him son, I'm like, "Oh yeah, no, that would."
That would hit
Considering,
differently.
Yeah, it can be cute.
Yeah, considering the perception, I'm like, oh man, even my heart was like, oh, that's cute as fuck.
But he is forgotten about just as quickly as Baby is.
Yeah, that makes it worse. Oh my
He
god.
doesn't even get a funeral. Like
Yo.
he gets a look from Gohan for a moment.
Yeah, that sucked. Like Piccolo is dead for good, and we get one moment where Gohan looks sad, and Goku's like, "Hey, why are you so sad?" Yeah, why am I so sad?
And the filler episode we get doesn't even acknowledge him. He doesn't get acknowledged again until Goku goes to hell.
yeah, no,
As a reminder, it's like, hey, just let you know, that happened.
That is probably the worst thing in GT.
Oh god, we're going into Super Android 17 next.
Baby.
I don't know about the worst, but it is definitely
Okay, it's not doll talkie, but
Sorry, like I tried to like Oh man, all those feelings that I had from before have been pulled back. I thought
Super
I was past this.
Argentino.
Yeah, I'm sorry. The last third of the baby stuff is a dumpster fire to me. Because it's one problem that cascades into another, that hits another, and then by the end of it, I was just so fucking glad that it was over. And amazingly, once it was over, my expectations were so low that going into this next arc, I was like, screw it, give me trash.
It's like,
I'm here
what
to eat your
could
trash.
be
Welcome to what is
worse?
essentially my favorite arc of the show.
Yeah?
Super 17, my favorite arc of the show. Everybody was talking shit about it beforehand.
It's so bad.
Understandable. I get it. I understand why this is trash, but
It's so bad. No.
it's very well paced. I mean, it's over quick. You get like.
I
the
was
enjoyable-
gonna say there's hardly any episodes. It's like what? 8?
moments that you get within it.
I totally missed the number count then, so I'm not rewinding it. I'm just getting drunk.
Are enjoyable enough to sustain me. It's another case of a interesting concept done poorly, but
At least it's that shit.
and it's quick.
Yes.
It's so quick. Hell opens up. I'm just gonna go through the things that I enjoyed. I like the idea of hell opening up. and
Yeah, that's
Goku
cool.
not
Like,
giving a
concept's
fuck.
great. Concept's great.
Nobody cares about the plot until an actual threat shows up.
Right.
Everybody's like, just clean up the trash, Cyberman. Let's get some member berries out there.
Everybody seems very nonchalant about the fact that they have to go through and re-kill a bunch of these, like...
Yeah,
Yeah.
all the old
Old
bad
villains.
guys. It's like,
And
okay,
it's all like,
we
you know,
have
19
to.
fella, Pui dies immediately.
Oh, yeah,
bunch of dead Cybermen.
The member berries are strong.
Pan beats the Red Ribbon Army.
Cool.
It's fine. I wish there was a little more to it. Like, you know, maybe have Tien and Yamcha fight Raditz and Nappa or something. Like,
That'd
go
be
Oh my
cool.
God, dude, that would have been sick as
Right?
fuck.
No, yeah, like get them come back and Nappa be like, yeah, you're nothing, and then they'd be like, actually, we stronger now. That'd be so sick to show how much progression has been
Or
made.
something. Yeah, just give, like, even if it's just
That'd
like
be cool.
where
Ah!
they are clearly in the lead. Let them have it back. Give Tien his run back on Nappa.
Yeah, that would have been great.
That
I
would have been
loved
sick.
to see that.
Just little segments. It doesn't even have to be a whole episode.
So many characters just not used. So many villains not used.
Yeah.
We see more villains, more interesting villains in that, like those 2 screenshots on the TV. They never appear. Again, it's just a bunch of fodder. Which why? All these characters are strong enough to fight some of the bigger guys.
Why couldn't Maju beat Babidi
Oh man. Oh god.
and fight his whole swath of characters?
Imagine if Majub had gone up against all those guys. That's so good.
That would be
Right?
class.
And
Total missed
I
opportunity.
take back what I say about Deborah, by the way, because people were right. Deborah's in heaven.
Yeah.
Would not have been coming down.
Deborah is in
Yes.
So, like that whole run back with him and Gohan wouldn't have mattered. Fine, him and Rildo can have a fight for no reason. But you had this chance to just have like a bunch of cute little fun little moments where the battles, like sure you could have made them as tense as you wanted, but they also could have just been boom done. But you had this chance to have these little scenarios where, you know, like real fan wankery kind of stuff. Just underutilized.
Yeah.
Very much so. Very much so.
Hellfighter 17, a lot of great cool looking shots.
Yeah.
Hellfighter 17 versus Vegeta, not bad. It's not bad.
Yeah.
Super 17 versus everybody. I feel so bad. I feel so bad for them. That was the drubbiest of jobbings.
Also,
No
one of my
one stood a
favorite moments in all of
chance.
GT. Goku riding the Kenzon and
Oh,
using
yeah.
a stalagmite as a.
It's dumb, but it's
throw.
fun.
Goku clowning on Cell and Frieza, fucking great until they throw him into Mario Party.
Again,
Essentially.
it's like, oh.
Again, GT likes to keep Goku occupied. And like,
Well, everyone else-
dumb
it's-
bullshit.
yeah.
Not with.
Because if
something
he was
like
there,
at least
They
in-
kept
if
him-
Goku's there, it gets sorted straight away. If Goku's there, it's done. So we can't have Goku there.
With interesting bullshit for a second, and then we're like, you know, it'd be better gags.
At least in the original manga, Goku's busy either recovering or training. Here, it's just like, no, he's off doing other stupid bullshit.
He's getting tickled and frozen.
Yeah.
It's
There's a lot
so
of
stupid.
funny moments, And luckily, at this point, again, I was so broken. Like, I'm still absolutely flabbergasted that the androids have ki now, and that they can sense each other's
And that
ki.
19 had a soul or was rebuilt in hell.
No, I mean,
Oh,
like,
yeah,
18
that's a
and
weird
17
one as
having
well.
souls makes sense.
18
But
and
the fact-
17, sure, but what about 19? It was pure robot.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No. 19 should not have come back. Also, 17. How do you build an how why hell?
Again, he
what-
died on King Kai's planet.
Hell.
I'll stick with that as my explanation. My bullshit explanation.
It makes no sense to me that hell just let these people build a new 17. I can't handle that. It's absurd. The absurdity is too much,
It's
man. It's
crazy.
too fucking much.
Yeah.
But like
and
again,
They literally came
it's
up with the
also
most
hilarious, 'cause I'm
stupid
like,
shit, didn't they?
I don't care.
It's dumb. You're
No
along
one-
for the ride.
No one ever told me that this arc was good. I'm not going to act like it ever gets good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to sit here and again eat your garbage. And you know what? It was fun garbage.
It was fun garbage. Like it could have been
Quick.
better garbage, but it was fun garbage.
Yeah.
So like you get Super 17, jobs everybody, and finally Goku.
Didn't mind the design.
And that's where we get probably the most fun fight in the
I did
show.
not
I
mind the
will say
design.
the fight is rather fun because of what it does. But the fact that Goku,
It's not great,
a
but
character not known for spamming
sorry.
ki blasts, keeps spamming ki blasts on this character.
Yeah, but we get intercontinental ballistic martial arts. So
Yeah,
that's-
like
Yeah,
all
absolutely.
across the
But then
planet.
afterwards, it's like, Goku's like, okay, I'm going to use my strongest attack to prove whether or not you can absorb energy.
Yeah.
Look, Goku's allowed to be.
It's a hell of a test.
Not in battle. He's not.
he's a fighting genius.
You've ridden him wrong. You've ridden him wrong. This
Yeah.
is very bad.
He keeps playing into the playing into the like key absorbing nature of Super 17.
Which again is so weird. He's not known for that.
Yeah, it is a little odd that he keeps
Hmm.
testing his theory in the ways that only make things worse for him.
Yeah.
We do get that great scene with 18 where her Seiyu just
No, that was
and
class
even if
with
it's, like,
Krillin.
kind of a nonchalant death for Krillin. It is a necessary death in order to play into what we need to get into next.
I will
Yeah.
say, if we were to handle that scene, I would absolutely have 17 go like, wait a second, who's the girl? My daughter. And who's the mother? Her.
What?
And then they immediately just have him blow it.
That's really funny. That's brilliant. Oh, they have such a knack for this like abridgment stuff. Oh my god.
Blow a hole through
I
him.
told you not
I
to
told,
fuck my
I
sister.
told you not to fuck my sister. Yeah, no, I'd immediately like.
That was great.
in
Who's
my
the
head, I was
girl?
like, oh yeah, no, he kills him because he fucks
Who's the
his
mother?
sister. But yeah, no, it's
Yeah.
17 barely has a character too.
Oh, he has less
Nah.
character than he had in Z.
No. Yeah.
And we had to add a character for him.
And I'm sorry, Krillin's death still kind of sucks. I don't like it. For me, it's just-
I do stand by the, like
They
I'll
tried.
stand by it 'cause
They tried.
17 is currently fighting between his nature and his desires.
Mm-hmm.
Like that moment where he does shoot him is clearly anime. Like he's like he's fighting something. So it's this internal reflex to like you are causing problems in my brain. I need you away now.
yeah, but I feel like it's, I don't know. Krillin dying is always given this sort of gravitas, but here it just sort of happens, and like
18's reaction gives it gravity.
yeah, I mean 18's reaction is good, but ultimately it's just she hits him a bunch and then collapses after she gets hit by a blast.
Yeah, because he needs to be the main threat.
I know. It just
Well,
it
he was
bothers
stronger
me
anyway,
because
wasn't he? You know.
I get what they're trying to go for, and I feel like there's a better version of
He
it.
was stronger
but
of the
what we
two.
get is so
It's
bare
numerical.
minimum that it just feels more insulting than it does like an actual moment.
They could have added more to it. Again, I stand by the idea. Take 1 or 2 episodes away from the end of the baby saga. Trim that shit down a lot. It would make both better.
Yeah, no, I mean, one more episode for 17 could have been good if it had been used to like inform some character stuff.
Yeah.
And a couple episodes from Baby would have been better. But it's hard for me to even get mad though, because again, like, hey, this is dumb, this is dumb, this is dumb, but I accept it now. I've made peace. That 17 is just dumb.
Yeah, and 18 does come back for the climax of the 17 Goku fight.
Which I like what they do there.
Yeah.
The fact that
Even
like,
if in execution it could have been like a little bit more, given a little bit more to her.
yeah,
But
I'm still the whole thing about her bluffing about the bomb in her chest. I guess it is possible 17 never realized his bomb hadn't been taken out.
Yeah.
It feels weird to me.
It feels weird.
Yeah,
that
because he wasn't around when the
well,
wish was made
Goku
and that,
points
like,
out
so,
that he
yeah.
probably did know. It's weird that she thinks that.
So
that's the bluff
there's the argument blown out the window, though, is like, don't look at it as a continuation of oh, no, the argument was look at it as a continuation of Dragon Ball Z and it's fine. No, yeah. But what was I trying? No, I went in that with, like, looking at it as not a continuation. But that wasn't the argument, so it's just me being dumb. Anyway, be it.
It is a weird bluff. Are we sure that bomb's strong enough at this point? Like, that bomb
And even so, she knows that it's gone. She was there when the wish was made.
Well, yeah, but she's...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it. It's still a bluff.
Yeah,
Sorry, I'm being dumb.
In saying that she knows that it's gone because...
I'm being dumb, and I'm trying to enjoy my New Year's Eve, but I'm also trying to entertain you guys. So I'm doing a terrible job. But I did want to check this out. Because GTFS, I really enjoyed checking all these things out this year. It was absolutely class.
He saw it, but he doesn't know that it's gone because he didn't.
And they were never in contact ever again.
That's a good fucking point.
That's what I was getting around.
Yeah, like,
Yeah,
did
but
they never
He
talk?
never talked. 18 never found 17.
So be like, hey, what's going on?
I'm sorry. I never even thought about
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
What the
Yeah.
fuck?
Yeah. So, again, problems and execution.
Oh my god.
Damn,
You
yeah,
get
it
a
was
really
simple
cool
as that,
Dragon
isn't it?
Fist, and that Kamehameha impalement is fun.
That's class.
I
Bam!
Again, very much a boom, it's over situation. I was fine. Like, this was my favorite arc in the show. Shadow Dragons.
Here we go. Definitely not the worst. But it's pretty bad.
Yeah, okay.
Parts that I enjoyed.
Yeah.
A lot of the Monster of the Week elements were fun.
Yeah.
Poor execution on a lot of the monsters. But
I could not care about anyone but 4, 3. I think 4 and 3 and 1.
Yeah, and you know what? I don't think the show did either.
Wait, no. Panties one. The wind one. The wind one actually had some neat stuff to it.
Cool
Actual
character
story,
design.
like character. That one was almost...
told a story.
Yeah, that one was actually not bad.
Jelly Chicken was boring and they were saved by nature.
Yeah.
Pollution one,
was a
they were
little-
also kind of saved by nature and Giru.
At least that there's something there beyond just...
Don't like the design of that one either.
There's teamwork involved. It's fine. Electric Chicken sucked. Then there was the panties one.
Then there was Mole.
Mole. Okay, the mole one had some funny bits.
I loved the design of Mole. I loved his like grumpy
terrible.
Goku's whole like, if you're not gonna fight back, this isn't fun.
Yeah. Like, the worst part about the mole one is how he's defeated, because it's like, you really, seriously, you're just going to like put Pan out there for no good reason so he can take her out and kill you? What? This is so dumb.
It's also the fact that it lasted 2 episodes.
Oh yeah, yeah. Another one that could...
It's another one of those issues, isn't it? It's like, oh, this is a bad idea. We're going to drag it out a little bit longer, try and fix it. We haven't fixed it. Shit, on to the next one.
been one episode, and it was instead 2. Hell,
Yeah,
the one with the panties dragon was only 1 episode, and it was perfect.
Yeah, that might have been the best Monster of the Week dragon.
Yes. Oh, easily. The fact that they actually had to use a strategy to do it by going in the eye of the tornado.
Yeah, that was
The fact that
cool.
Han actually helps contribute to that win. Like
Cool.
Nation is birds.
yeah, we loved it.
And his alcoholic dad.
Hey, let's go.
Yeah, no, there's an actual story there. Like, I wish more.
Oh
of
god,
this
these
had
beers are
actual
strong as well.
story.
Just like, I don't
No,
know. Like, so I've just drank nearly two 750ml bottles of 8.5% beer. And this last can is 9.5%. I've saved all these for New Year, so that's what I'm doing here now. Like, boom, I thought like 2 hours long, get drunk doing this, boom, bam, bam, bam. It's starting to hit me.
Yeah. And then like 4-star shows up, and I don't know, all of this stuff. Like, so we start off, and this is sort of interesting, and I wish I'd kind of paid a little bit more attention, but the expo dump.
exposition is too much.
Oh
it's
my
too, like
It's
it was
huge.
it was a Kojima cutscene of exposition.
Yeah. Finding out like and the worst part
Metal
was-
Gear.
It was necessary stuff, like
Well,
stuff that
I
you
mean,
needed to pay attention to.
I was gonna say you could have cut like half of that shit,
You could have cut it,
or
like,
truncated it.
but they hid so many important details in there.
Yeah. So something that is hinted at in the 17 arc that is confirmed at the very beginning of this arc that I kind of missed at the very beginning was that the Dragon Balls cracking are what hell.
Yeah, like it was causing a massive spiritual imbalance. The overuse of the Dragon Balls was
so
causing
that's why Hell was able
spiritual
to.
pollution.
Yeah, and so that's one of the reasons the land between the living and the dead was opened up. This comes back to play later in a way that I actually find very interesting, legitimately, sincerely.
Okay.
And so that's shown, and then it's like, oh, by the way, so yeah, because of the use of the Dragon Balls, they're cracked, and now they're fucking...
They're evil. They're corrupted.
Yeah, now there are bad dragons, and these bad dragons
Are going to fuck the world.
yeah, exactly. Using many different elements, which I actually liked that. I was like, oh, hey, cool. They all have their own.
Yeah, they have shticks. They have gimmicks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
their own
cool.
little thing going
I'm
on.
glad
It's
that
cool.
they're not just like, oh, like I have this design and I'm powerful and maybe you have a quirk to me. No, they actually have a gimmick to each one.
Yeah.
And fucking Supreme Kai just goes on and on and on about how, oh, you always overuse the Dragon Balls. And it's like, you know what? I can point to you like 2 wishes that are actually like really genuinely selfish. And then the rest of them are actually like trying to help the world.
Yeah, we need to
Yeah.
bring back all those people that were just killed. Bring back Earth in general.
Yeah, and it's like, and I understand like this whole entire idea of like, don't mess with the natural order. But like, first of all, why did nobody know? Well, oh no, actually, here's another thing that we missed because there was so much fucking exposition. Popo says, oh, Popo remembers how this happened on another planet once.
Oh, what?
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 Galactic genie.
Yeah. First of all, what? Well, okay, thanks for telling us that there are Dragon Balls on other planets
Bitch,
besides...
That's interesting because how Daima goes and a little reveal of Popo without his head being gone and that. Wow.
Tell you what I want when I want.
I know, right? So besides Namek, that's a big drop.
Yeah.
Which the Super actually does stuff with later, which I found very interesting. Second.
Oh, there's that as well.
Excuse me. Why the fuck didn't you say anything? You knew? You heard about this? And you were like, oh, whatever, you know, I'm just...
What I want when I want.
I know. So
Damn.
why? And Supreme Kai's getting on Bulma's case when, if you think about it, other people were... Like, he's like, oh, it's because of your radar. The Red Ribbon Army had a radar.
Yeah, they
were
although
finding-
they could have cloned the technology. Like maybe it's because she discovered how.
But it's
What a bitch.
Well, it can only be
No,
implied,
Bulma is
no,
the
it's
best.
I guess.
yeah.
But yeah,
it's
like
never-
gets on her shit. She talks shit back though.
Yeah, and it's like, this is so stupid. Like, I don't even hate this as a setup. Why did you do it in the dumbest way?
That it didn't bother me that much. I was drained by all the exposition by that point. I think.
Like, going back and reading the exposition made it worse. I made it worse. I'm like, there's a... Like, it was like my brain was trying to protect me in that moment by being like, don't pay attention to too much of the details. We have evil dragons now. That's all you need to know. So, yeah, I'm sorry. That start is actually worse than I remember. And then we get into a bunch of boring dragons with a couple of neat moments here or there. Which, again, and I will stand by this, and I'm sure you will too, it shouldn't have been Goku and Pan for most of them. It should have been all of them.
They needed to mix it up.
Yeah.
Like Gohan and Goten, Trunks and like Vegeta. Like again, it's like you said. What if Goku had fought off against 4-star while Vegeta takes 3-star? That
Yeah.
would have been so freaking cool.
I would have loved it. Give them all the Z team, a dragon. And it didn't have to be like every episode focusing on one each dragon. Like you could have had them all in the first episode meet dragons, and then every episode is then like the build up to the fights to then have the final one. You know what I mean? Like even have like 4 fights going on.
Could have been plain stuff. Instead, Vegeta had to have a filler episode where we watched Dragon Ball Z.
Oh my god. Oh my! I can't wait for that episode.
Yes.
That episode of GTFS has not dropped yet, and I am so excited.
Oh, so they recorded
for
this
people to
before
watch
that?
particular
Wow,
episode. Oh,
way
God.
ahead of
It's
it.
ridiculous.
It's so bad.
Like-
It's hilariously bad.
There's-
Oh, I am.
and again,
I'm
some
really
of the
looking
ones
forward
with
to.
stuff
Right,
on.
just a heads up. Really looking forward to this because Hazy Jane from Brewdog is my favorite drink, and I've had this triple before. But this is 9.5% in volume, and this is really gonna fucking do stuff. But it's gonna be so good. But anyway,
I liked Wind Dragon of Raw.
I might need to pee in a minute.
Chicken was boring. Pollution was okay, I guess, as an introductory, as an introduction.
Mole had funny moments.
Yeah, Mole was my favorite designed dragon.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I liked his goobery Muppet look.
I do have.
I mean, it's different.
Really sad because the Panty Dragon looked really good, and then like we see.
Then they decided that it had a different form for no reason.
I'm sorry.
Which was so strange. Like, it's okay, but like
the ugly form. Why are all these dragons so ugly? I get that they're evil, but even Toriyama still had like some design sense to make his villains look cool. Why are all?
I'll cede to the idea that they looked a lot like King Piccolo's demon babies. Like maybe there's something about the Namekian creations of it all that there's like. So I'll cede to that, but it's it is weird that they decided to give Wind Dragon like an interesting look, and then for no reason whatsoever, just a very generic gargoyle dragon look. For, like it was unnecessary.
Yeah,
very much so.
Yeah, I don't get it. Like you had such a good design, and also, why does he have the power to come up with a new face?
They did it for no reason other than maybe like this one seemed to have
a god complex.
Yeah,
to be
this desire to be worshipped, but you can do that without it needing to change form.
Yeah,
like it can be that pretty looking one that's still very embarrassed by the wish that created it, which also is a problem that I kind of had where they kind of dropped the whole like this is the wish that created me.
What? Yeah, what wish?
We know nothing about 4, 3, and 1.
Yeah.
Oh right, so they like wait.
I feel like we never get that info.
1-star dragon, Sin Shenron, Mr. Popo's wish to revive everyone killed by freeze from his soul.
Hey, comments. I might be dumb and missed it.
2-star
really
dragon, hey Shenron,
like,
Goku's wish to bring Bora back to life. 3-star
was the resurrection of Upa.
4,
or Upa's
5-star.
Bora, that one.
Yeah.
6.
You know what the Panty one was?
Yeah.
Oh, so we got one for each one.
I don't think we were given an explanation for chicken, and then we know nothing about 3, 4, and 1.
Thank you, editor Nice, on that.
I mean, you really could have played into a theme of some sort, but then we get introduced to Nova, who has like more of an honorable streak, the symbolism of the 4-star ball like being more aligned with Goku, and the 3-star ice dragon that's more of a dick, like
Really is a dick.
conniving, just win by any means necessary.
Which, by the way, that dynamic, those two dragons in that dynamic that they have make them some of my favorite villains in this entire show.
Oh yeah, like they're class. They're absolutely class. Like the design for me personally are preferable visually to all the other dragons, but I did like the dynamic they had, and I felt like on screen they had more of a presence than the other dragons.
Because they're the most interesting. Like
Yeah.
they're the only.
Yeah,
they're
and then
actually
I feel like they're more interesting than Omega Shenron. Yeah.
stuff to work with, and Goku and Nova actually have like some interesting moments, some really weird moments, like that chase, that chase sequence throughout the hotel, which was very Looney Tunes.
That's another
like
sequence
very
that,
Hanna-Barbera.
That's a sequence that starts out like interesting and then goes on way
Too long.
Way too long.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but he and Goku have like this whole honorable like, yeah, you could have killed Pan, so I'm gonna give you like a round 2.
Yeah.
Ice
Yeah, I did like that between them. It's so cool.
doing no such thing and blinding Goku.
Yeah, but he's like proper dick moves against him.
But
Oh my god, the finish on 3-star.
yeah, that big twisty ass dragon fist. Loved
That
it.
was sick as hell.
Best
That is
best finish in the show, mind
best
you.
finish in the show,
Yeah.
no doubt. Like
Coolest looking at the very least.
yeah, and the fact that it just not only goes around the
Spins
city,
around the
and
city
then
and-
goes down. I'm like, holy hell! The dragon fist is like, yeah. I'm sorry, that is such a cool signature attack for Goku. I am so glad that was brought over from movie 13. If you
Yeah.
were going to,
Yeah, because just Wrath of the Dragon,
Yeah,
wasn't it?
I marked out when he used it against 17. I'm like,
But like, it's just annoying as well because in Wrath of the Dragon, it was so lame because Goku comes out of nowhere after having nothing to do in the movie, and then it's just like, I'm the hero now.
oh shit, he's bringing that out.
yeah, it's cool as hell. A+, no notes.
Yeah, it got a way better kill than he deserved. And I do like that moment where he like
Fist
slices
straight
Goku's
through,
eyes
just like,
and you get that building
boom.
fall. Like that's a great anime trope.
Yeah.
I love that trope.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
There's,
that's class.
Man, there's some really, really good stuff in a couple of those episodes. Again, like once we hit
There are high points throughout.
yeah, once we hit 4-star, things immediately go up quite a bit. They go back down later, but hey, it's really cool for a moment.
It's peaks and valleys from
Yeah.
this point out, because and it's embodied by Sin and then Omega.
Goku's blind for a while.
He's blind for a while.
He's blind for a bit.
The most interesting part about the early part of that fight is the fact that it takes place in a theme park.
Yeah,
Which is, yeah, interesting choice.
very interesting visual stuff. One good thing about GT in general, GT foregoes a lot of the a lot of the like deserts, deserted areas,
Desert.
a lot of the wastelands, and actually puts a lot of its fights in
Interesting locations.
admittedly
Cities.
deserted
Yeah,
cities.
you definitely see more. Like, I'm sure they mentioned it in another one, but it's nice to see, other than like in Z, where it was just like generic desert. Let's go somewhere where no one's gonna fight us, and it's like just deserts and stuff, or just very secluded areas. GT has more interesting backgrounds going on.
Like there's no people here, but at least we're getting interesting locations.
Yeah.
And sometimes they even use that environment
To
as
interact
part of a
with.
fight.
Yeah.
And that's something about GT
Yeah,
that
they fight on a roller coaster.
Which
yeah,
is so
I mean, it kind of
random.
makes absolutely no sense. How much can Goku see? Because he's grabbing stuff as he's falling. He's running across the track. Goku being
Blind
here
doesn't really do much.
Yeah, it doesn't change the
It
story
just sounds
almost
key,
at all.
surely.
I don't even know why they kept him blind for as long as they did.
Yeah.
Honestly, he should have been able to use the thing on his eyes. And as he was doing that, Bora gets shot. Like, he couldn't stop that. That would have been interesting to me. But instead, he's just
Just
blind.
stays blind for a while.
Which, again, 1-star apparently must be like fooling around with him because it doesn't.
They do play one fun idea with it, and that's the idea, like, you can track my energy, you can track my movements, but what about things getting thrown at you?
Yeah,
idea.
that was cool.
Goku can still sense it.
Yeah.
He's still like, I can still hear it.
So what was
Yeah.
the point?
Like,
Yeah.
You know what? His training with Popo did that. Like, they had a whole thing about that. So,
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah, I'm totally.
But ultimately, yeah, the blindness means nothing.
yeah, it's kind of like this not actual
It's
drama.
It's a hindrance when it needed to be for the plot.
Yeah.
It kind of never was. I don't remember a single moment where he actually failed because he couldn't see. Do you remember a moment where he failed because he couldn't see?
I can't off the top of my head, but
No.
I'm sure there was a few moments where it's like, where is he?
And here's the worst part: the one moment where it really does count. The one moment
When he's
where
bluffing.
When he's bluffing, but we've already seen he doesn't need to bluff. He already knows where 1-star is. So what's the point?
Yeah.
Like he can tell where 1-star is. He doesn't need to bluff. So it meant nothing.
Yeah, the finish of that fight is like he bluffs and then he blasts him, and then he becomes Omega Shenron because it's a false finish. Goku takes round one.
Yeah.
I think he already.
He wasn't Omega at that point. When he becomes
No.
Omega, it's a stomp.
right.
This was after.
Yeah, it was the weird bit where it's like he takes over the other. Oh, we'll
like they
get into
powered
it.
him up to super full power Goku. Like he's beyond his limits. When
Super
he's
Saiyan
Omega,
God, let's go!
shit slap city until Gogeta.
Right. So it's. Oh.
Yeah, we get the false finish, and then Omega Shenron, slap, slap, slap. Vegeta shows up. Super Saiyan 4 wears it good. He wears it
Bulma
good.
gives it to him,
I definitely like
which is
Super Saiyan
so bizarre. Please address it. Please address that Bulma gave it
4
him.
Vegeta more than I do Super Saiyan 4 Goku, and that's saying a lot because I like Super Saiyan 4 Goku. That's not a. the only
I
difference-
No, he
prefer
has a mullet.
Goku's. I prefer Goku's
It's
design.
not a
It's a bit of a mullet.
Which is.
It's more sticking up. I don't know.
Kinda.
It's
I'll tell you this: as soon as Super Saiyan 4 Funko Pops come out, that I am paying straight away for those. The GT ones, normally with Dragon Ball Funko Pops, I need to do a video on my collection. I get everything normally when it comes to Goku Vegeta. I forced myself to get the Vegeta GT one because it was just him and base with like a random whatever. Goku and Super Saiyan 3, cool. The Super Saiyan 4 ones, if they do come out for Goku and Vegeta and a Gogeta, it's Gogeta in it, my God, I will be ordering them. Like they've just recently, last month, made it possible to pre-order Dragon Ball Super Broly Funko Pops. They look amazing. And I've nearly got. I paid like £120 to pre-order 5 of them. But then some are Funko Europe exclusives, like the Funko Shop exclusives. But they don't let you pre-order. You've got to wait till the day they come out to buy them, which is a pain in the ass. I did a queue for half an hour one time and didn't get what I wanted. So I've made sure to pre-order where I can what I want. But there's never been a Gogeta Funko Pop before, and that is the Funko exclusive. And it's like, no, I want it. But anyway.
But yeah, he Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, that entire segment, great. No, I like the stuff they like his design.
I think it's cool.
The only parts I had an issue with were just
The
his
really
overly
over-the-top
playful
jokely
nature.
stuff.
Yeah, he kind of just wastes a bunch of time, which
Which is something they don't have because of the fucking fusion. But yeah.
But it has those great moments like the to get punched in the face 3 times and all it did was like make your nose bleed. Like there's great stuff there.
I like there's stuff that I like.
Yeah.
They should have just killed him.
It's honestly mostly stuff that I like, with a few things that I'm like, GT gonna GT.
The problem is the stuff that I
just,
don't like is how it moves the plot forward, which is a lot of GT. And it's like that Gogeta's acting like Gotenks. That makes no sense. Why?
Yeah, it's so kiddie. It's so kiddie. It doesn't make sense. Neither of Goku or Vegeta would be this childish in a fight. Vegeta would potentially be like, "Come on, give me what you got." But yeah,
Yeah.
Him being a little too playful, like, yeah, because there's Vegito who's cocky and like, I'm gonna slap you down. I'm going to make you feel little. And then there's him being like way too playful.
yeah, it's
which,
too much.
I kind of erred towards the side of him being, monkey god, Sun Wukong inspiration, which I'm okay with. But it's
just not what it
ultimately
is.
a problem when that is what dictated the plot from that point.
I will
Yeah.
say this is where he's looking most Monkey King.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And you're right. I like the design of. I actually really do dig the design.
it looks cool. It looks really freaking
Saiyan
cool.
4
Saiyan 4
Gogeta.
Gogeta.
Even the red hair makes no sense, but
Yeah, we're not going to talk about the color scheme. It's probably still the best color scheme out of the 3 of them, if I
Might
can be
be.
honest.
yeah.
Hmm.
But yeah, from that point forward, it's a lot of can they do it again? Which
I'm
admittedly
sorry.
is a fun way to play with the like because setting up the audience to think like this is how you have to finish it. They need to find a way to fuse again. I buy that.
I hate that episode with a passion. It is nothing. You could cut that. When you can cut an entire episode out cleanly and not
Oh,
lose anything
damn.
meaningful, that's, and I mean anything. There's
Yeah.
nothing that happens
Like
in that episode.
even 4-star coming back doesn't really like it amounts to nothing.
Oh yeah, 4-star coming
That
back.
was
You can cut that too. You can cut them trying to get around and fuse again. You can cut 4-star coming back, not lose anything.
The only thing you lose, well, I guess you don't necessarily lose it because you could just have Goku swallow the ball anyway. But like him getting the ball back because 4-star came back is.
But that's after it comes out of his.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, remember?
Yeah, he gobbles that ball.
Like there's no reason.
Yeah, there really wasn't.
Yeah, it's bad. I'm sorry. I genuinely just do not like those episodes.
quite confusing.
They add nothing. They're not creative. They're repetitive as hell. And so like and here's the thing. I actually like 4-stars stand down with 1-star. It's a good stand down. I actually dig it. But it just kind of goes nowhere.
Yeah, it just gets him back to Omega form, and I do like that reveal when he breaks out of Nova,
It's
and like that
weird.
last piece falls off, and you see the 4-star ball there again. That the pure mood of everything from that point on, great, because like it's the darkest we ever get in Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
Everything is hopeless.
Yeah, the oh my god, the despair that you feel in those final moments where like everyone teams like because fucking Vegeta telling them you need to get like
Yeah, everybody get out of here. We're gonna hold him off. Like get on a spaceship.
It's like, wait,
avenge me.
what?
yeah, that is a hella moment. I was like, okay, that's cool.
Goku eating the power ball because Vegeta's final shine attack was never going to do anything ever in this show.
Yeah, watching 1-star like just tear through everybody and stab Vegeta in the shoulder.
That's brutal
like
as
a lightning
fuck.
bolt destroying an entire city
We're-
while other places are just like ruined. It's so It's a big moment. It feels
It's
like
the best episode of Dragon Ball GT. Is its final episode.
its final 2 episodes are really solid in a lot of places, but I will say one thing about this about the big finale. It's really quick.
It is
Because
kinda,
because
but yeah.
the moment
But it
Goku-
feels right. But it feels paced correctly.
in terms of so in terms of the information that it has to tell you, yes. Because I mean, ultimately, it's like Goku
Spirit
is getting
bomb
energy from everyone in the
again.
universe. And if you like, I'm very curious how anybody watching it who doesn't know how it ends is going to react to Goku just tanking all those shots from One Star. But like in terms of what happens,
makes sense.
Goku has to use the Universal Spirit Bomb
After
He
the
goes
fact.
to the
It makes sense after the fact. You watch it initially and like, what is going on? But then it's like, oh, shit.
Spirit Bomb, he throws the Universal Spirit Bomb. That's the story. That's what happens there. And you know, it's framed well enough. It's like
It's literally a curtain call because
Yeah.
we went over this in the conversation that we had with like about Omega Shenron in that he's a really nothing villain.
yeah.
He is there to be a wall, to be like that final thing. He's less of a villain and more of a like an obstacle. And Goku overcoming that obstacle with like that final curtain call of like, let's get the cameos from everybody back here again. This is it. We're at the end. Like, it is what it needed to be. In order for it to have been more, Omega Shenron would have had to have been more.
Yeah,
Unfortunately,
that's
he was
true.
less.
The villain
I
was
still
nothing.
would have preferred if 4-star had come out in the last moment to to save them instead of doing that not stupid, that failed suicide attack that ended up doing nothing. If he'd come out of Goku's head at that last moment, where and tanked all of One Star's blasts.
Oh,
that
that'd
would've
been
better to
cool.
me because at least it would.
Because, like, what was the point in it all? Yeah, I know what you're saying. It's
There's
just
a
so
whole, like, There's a
stupid.
whole lot of fan fixing that I could think of here.
I know. I'm just
Like-
all I'm saying is, Goku just gets to do the Spirit Bomb and that's it.
Which-
I mean, technically he's paid for it. After
yeah.
the fact, we find out that he's
And I think that's great. Like, the entire execution of that point forward from what they did, from what we got, is great.
It is. It's very interesting because that next episode makes that last episode better.
Better.
But when when I was watching it, I'm like, oh, well, this is
What's
sort of,
going on with that? Why is he able to do that?
Yeah, and I was feeling like this sort of feels a little anticlimactic because it's the big moment. He's got
It
the
makes
big
no sense.
Why those two
Why can he
episodes
just
have
take
to
it
be
all?
paired?
Yeah, like I feel like
It should have been an hour-long special.
that would have been a good idea. And that's why I'm really glad that we watched them back to back. Very glad. But yeah, it just kind of makes the actual moment itself feels a little underwhelming. Where then afterwards you feel like, oh, okay, so there's a
Now
whole,
I see, yeah.
there's a whole thing that happened. So it's weird. It's not bad.
No.
I will say this.
Could have
That
been
finish
better,
isn't bad.
but it's
For me, it's just
cool.
like I'm used to the big finishes in Dragon Ball. Like you get these big moments, these big like last minute moments. I feel like Goku's,
Yeah, the fact that Ice Shenron got a bigger send-off,
I would say that like
or at least a more flashy send-off.
Yeah.
think about the way Goku beat Frieza.
Mm.
That is one of those moments where no, you don't get a big climax.
Yeah, you fool!
Yeah.
The fight was already over.
Yeah, the fight was over.
Done.
Like, but that moment we still built up to that moment because like Frieza taking himself out, the poetry there is mwah, A+. And then him not getting it to the very end and Goku after blowing him up. Perfect. Like there are ways to like you don't have to have this big finish every time. But like
Yeah,
it's
not everything has to be the father-son Kamehameha.
but it is the final fight.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that Goku just is like, oh, I guess I'll have to pull energy from the universe and then gets it.
But again, the fight feels like it's less of a point at this juncture.
Yeah.
It's not about the fight. It's about what everything about that led up to.
And what comes after it is actually more important.
Yeah, genuinely, the last episode,
Oh
unironically, best episode.
my
of
god.
Yeah.
It's
As
great. It's great. What an absolute legendary send-off for Goku here.
confusing as that is, it's the ending is the best.
Yeah, no,
but-
we've made it very apparent that we actually think it's the best, largely just because it has,
Episode's
it does a lot of
fantastic.
very interesting things. I like the idea that it plays with Goku being alive or dead, and how that's very nebulous.
Questionable,
the fact
yeah.
that Goku gets to say goodbye to all of these characters, and thus us, with the audience, also get to say goodbye to them.
But it's also you also get that evergreen moment of like he's just like he's going on to whatever like his next journey is. He's at rest, but he still persists
Yeah.
in some way or form.
There's a little bit of hero worship going on, I feel, narratively.
But with Goku, it's kind of earned.
I mean, it is, but really the narrative should never be about Goku being a hero. I feel like that kind of undermines his whole character. But at the same time, Goku is a special person, and the thing that I like about the ending, is that it explores his relationship with other people. Like, again, it's Krillin, it's Piccolo. It's a little sad. Like, he does actually get a moment with Vegeta, who's the first one to realize. And Vegeta's comments to Pan when she finds his
Yeah,
robe,
hold
like,
that.
yeah,
Keep it like hold that. Cherish.
Yeah.
yeah, like that is a much better
Damn.
finishing line than what he gets in the Tankobon, where he's like, "Oh, Goku, I'll beat you one day." No, that's actually a really good moment. Another good thing about GT, I really like Vegeta. I hate his first design.
Yeah, terrible, but he's cool in it. Yeah, they didn't ruin him. They didn't ruin him.
Damn, GT Vegeta, you are so much
he's,
better.
Yeah, he is a developed character.
And I like it.
Until that weird filler episode where he kind of regresses a bit, but
Well, it's less regressive
and more of like, God, I've been left behind again. Damn it!
but it feels like he's just like, I can get stronger. I just don't know how.
Yeah, how does he keep doing this? Like, he's got a tail again. That bitch.
Yeah, but yeah, Vegeta in this whole show is better than Super Vegeta. I don't hate Super Vegeta, by the way. I just think that they keep doing playing the hits with them over and over again, and it.
Yeah, this is a Vegeta that went through his arc.
I feel like Super Vegeta would get better if they carry on with the manga further with the Moro arc, etc., where Vegeta goes on a different path to level up than Goku does. That'd be a really cool thing for everyone to see. But again, I feel like the Super manga needs to come back. It needs to finish its story off, and then when Dime is done, do a magical fix in. I don't know, because it's canon.
Yeah, and I like it. I like older. More
Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta
because
rocks!
He's still himself.
Yeah,
He's still
ripping the wheel off that guy, those guys.
So
car.
Yeah, he
cool.
didn't blow them up. Progress. He's still Vegeta. He
coulda killed him.
Murdering people.
Yeah.
I mean, they could have drowned.
But like not aggressively so. He's just like, and oh my God, the fact that his daughter points out his mustache and he immediately shaves
it off.
That's
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah, she has all the power over him.
And you know what? I bet you if Trunks had said it, he'd been like,
Shut up, boy.
Ah,
fuck
yeah.
off. No, the fact that his daughter did it, and that's like, oh, I know so many dads with their daughters. They care so much about what they have to say over their sons, and that's, sorry, I could.
No, Dad Vegeta is, he's good in this.
In fact, I will say this. One thing that I do kind of dig about this show in general is that its character writing is a little bit better, just a little bit better than Super's was. Because I definitely
Sorry, I was in work at 5 o'clock this morning.
felt like when it came to
Super feels like they're writing a lot of characters as they're stuck in a time capsule. They're writing the caricature of the character.
Yeah, and stupid Super Goku is a thing. He's awful. Here, he's also still pretty dumb.
But he's a kid, so
But
whatever.
But it doesn't
So it's okay.
feel so egregious. And also, he's also not doing a whole lot of serious shit 90% of the time. He's mostly just fucking off because he's got nothing else to do.
I'll say that GT made me understand Goten fans, if that makes sense. Because he actually, he's different from the rest of his family in this.
He's very different from Goku and Gohan.
Yeah, he's chilling.
The fact that he's just trying to be a normal
A person.
dude.
Yeah, I love that. It's cool.
I think he's in his 20s actually.
And in this, he
Yeah,
has to be
yeah,
high school,
nope,
really?
nope.
High
Here's the thing.
school, surely.
There's a time jump. 20 years have passed since the end of since the end of.
Oh, and they are
Dragon
running
Ball Z
Boo.
with
Is it 20
So there's a
years?
10-year gap. Oh, is it 10-year gap? I'm pretty sure it's.
I can't. You're talking to the wrong guy.
Yeah.
Or asking the
Yeah.
wrong guy.
And then it is confirmed that it was 10 years after. Well,
After the end,
It was
it's-
it was either 10 or.
I remember there being some discussion about this early on because there were there were a couple different translations of it.
Yeah, it's either 5 or 10 years. But here's the thing: if it's 5 years,
He seems like a teenager, if I'm gonna be honest. He seems
Yeah, I
like
think
in
he's a
high school.
teenager.
no, he definitely does. He feels like a high schooler. But at this point,
which is fine. Like that's where that's
Vegeta
where I accept
would
it.
not
Yeah, but at
be
this point,
dealing
he's
with
a-
anyone
but
older than a
the point is,
teenager like that.
it's funny. He just wants to be a normal dude. He wants to go on dates with girls.
But he's still strong. Like it's not, like he does training. Like
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
he's not out here like not keeping up with stuff.
But he's a peacetime baby.
yeah.
He's like, I want to enjoy myself.
which it's good for Goten.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Trunks is okay. I will say
He probably keeps up with Trunks more than anything, and Trunks only keeps up with shit because Vegeta would beat him otherwise.
Yeah, it's like, my dad would really not like if I wasn't strong.
he's very bland.
Well, it's because he doesn't have any of the edge that
He told me
Z
stories
Trunks
about my
has.
future self.
Future Trunks.
And he
has
seemed pretty
he has
cool.
none of the
I
dark
need to be that
backstory
person.
Of, Z Trunks, Z Future Trunks.
But they
And he
try
has-
to, but they treat him as if the audience should be like, oh yeah, this is like Future Trunks. No.
and then he's like, but he's supposed to be like, oh, Kid Trunks. He's supposed to be the other wartime baby, or sorry, a peacetime baby. Who was a wartime baby, then a peacetime baby. But
Yeah, they
he's-
both went through Boo, but that was a very short chapter of their lives.
Yeah, but at this point, Trunks just doesn't feel like. I feel like we've skipped all of his development, and now we're just kind of at a 20-something-year-old who's like, I don't want to do work, and that's the most we get from him.
Yeah.
Like otherwise, he's the mom on the ship. He's the mom.
He's the
to
responsible one
Yeah,
that
he's-
Piccolo should have been.
Yeah, he's the parent, and that kind of just turns him into this.
Non-entity.
Not yeah. Also, his outfit. I'm not a fan of his outfit.
Yeah.
I never dug it. So Trunks, meh. Pan, we already talked about her. Goku is just kind of Goku.
He's Goku.
Yeah, from beginning to end, he's Goku. He's less stupid than Super Goku, but I will say is worse utilized because it definitely feels like
Well, in the beginning, he's there to solve the problem, and in the middle, he just becomes the protag again.
yeah, and constantly distracted by stupid bullshit before he can finally actually fix a problem, and also turning him young again sucked.
It
Piccolo.
would have been nice to do
Although
something
him
different.
becoming King of Hell,
Like, as far as outcomes go for him with what we got, I'm happy with him being King of Hell. Demon King Piccolo, let's go.
yeah, King of Hell Piccolo. I only wish we could have gotten more. That's my only thing.
Yep.
I
I just want more Piccolo.
Yeah.
He's probably my favorite Z character.
Also, the way he got there still sucks to me. So
Yeah.
and that's the thing that hurts me for. It hurts it for me. If his death had been earned, then I would have been even more on board. I would have been like, fuck yes, let's go. But the fact that I didn't like the way that he died, just kind of like, oh yeah, you're reminding me of this bad moment with something that I ostensibly like. So, but yeah, Krillin shows up a couple times. He's got
Yeah, like, and then again, dies, and it's like, you only really care if you're fans of the Z series, I suppose.
He's always got a big old camping backpack.
that is weird. I don't know why you still have the camping backpack.
The
there.
first time made sense. They're about to leave Earth.
Yeah, so you're taking all your stuff with you.
Later, though, like they just kind of keep cutting back to him. He's always got that big fucking backpack.
Yeah. Also,
Hey,
he's got
maybe Android 18 likes to travel and go places and do things, and he will do anything for his queen. I know I would if Android 18 was.
he's aged the most.
Yeah,
He's the character who's
He
the
has
oldest
so much facial
He looks
hair. Just
older than
And honestly,
Roshi's
I'm
looking
glad-
good.
I'm glad that he was able to develop. I'm glad they didn't shy away from the fact that he's older now. He even talks a little bit about it, and there's that really sweet moment between him and Goku at
Oh
the
man,
end.
last episode. Oh.
I do wish there had been a bit more Krillin in the series because Krillin is a lot of people's like second or
Fave.
third favorite character.
Yeah, he's up
He's
there.
the most consistent character in Z.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People don't know.
He's always there.
People don't know. People don't realize how MVP Krillin is. He's always there. He's always in the shit.
Until Boo, he's there.
Yeah.
For everything.
And so it is a little bit disappointing that
Mate, such a big fucking part of Frieza Saga, which is I feel is like the biggest part of Z. Yeah, Krillin just and he triggered Goku's Super Saiyan form. Let's
he is pushed off a lot.
just
Not
saying.
put a place for him in the plot. I definitely wouldn't want.
I mean,
him to
at
go on.
least he had lines.
Oh, yeah.
Tien and
Oh, yeah.
Yamcha. No.
Ten
Yeah.
and Yamcha show up on screen once in the. I think Yamcha shows up twice.
They show up. Both of them show up on screen twice.
Yeah.
that's
and
a
that's
shame.
it. That's the extent of those characters.
Damn.
Which, that also kind of sucks. there were moments for them in at least three. No, in all, yeah, at least three of these
The
arcs.
fact that they weren't even addressed when Baby was taking over
Right.
Earth, like we didn't get to see possessed Tien and Yamcha or anything like that, is
Yeah.
yeah.
Like, I
Huh.
understand. You have a big cast. You don't
Yeah,
need to utilize all of them. But, like,
We got to get moving, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
But to launch them is
yeah.
weird. I
But,
don't know.
yeah. But, you know, in terms of characters, everyone's mostly all right. In terms of the plot, that's where everything goes wrong.
Yeah.
And so, by the end here, we have a really decent ending. Like, I'd say the best ending Dragon Ball's ever gotten, personally. I know that's up for debate. Some people feel like it's too saccharine. And,
Well,
and
some people like the
I like the
evergreen
ending.
ending of Z, where like the adventure goes on. You know, you
From-
come up with your own ending.
from the manga.
Yeah, Super, to my
That's
knowledge,
not an
doesn't.
ending.
It's not an ending. It's another evergreen non-ending where the manga kept going, and
Yeah, no.
and yeah, this felt like a legitimate ending.
Yeah.
Mm.
And I liked it.
Yeah.
And did it make GT as a whole better for me? Actually, yes.
Yeah,
I will say.
the ending does make watching the rest of it better.
Yeah. I won't lie.
I will never watch it all again.
No.
Oh.
I'm done. But there are parts that stick out to me that I might revisit. Again, that Goku 17 fight does stuff that
I would never buy the DVD. I'm sure I mentioned it one time, but like me and my friends years ago were at London Comic Con, and they don't exist anymore. It's Manga Entertainment. They've like been by Funimation, which has been whatever Anime Limited, I think. But anyway, they were like, we are premiering these trailers for DVD releases, and the first one was Dragon Ball GT, and the whole room, including me and myself, was just like, my friends were just like, boo! I was like, why would you want that on DVD? Boo! And it's like, you still can't get it. I want to get it on DVD, just to have it, because I got all the orange boxes. But it's still never at the price I'm willing to pay. I will pay £5 for the complete series. I'm not paying any more on that.
you never see ever in Dragon Ball.
Yeah, I have to admit, knocking somebody into a different time zone is not something you see very often.
No.
I dug that.
And like just throughout that fight, they do some interesting stuff.
And the fact that a lot of it's washed out in like
It's like the art in that episode, like it helps that the art and animation in that episode is good. And 17 always has just like a face, like
oh yeah, he's got some great expressions.
what he lacks in personality,
He
they
makes-
give to him in just emotes.
Yeah,
Just
his expressions are solid. His design, again, I also think is still solid.
yeah, his
enough.
design's fine.
I still don't like him. I still don't like
It's
One
alright.
Star. I still think he looks silly. He's whatever.
Like what?
All the dragons look bad. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't really care about this
The twins look good. The twins look good.
Shadow Dragon arc, but it does lead to that ending.
You know what I will say about the Bad Dragon arc? It's a little boring.
Yes.
Like that's actually my.
It has
biggest-
its moment, but ultimately it's just
In
sitting
whole,
through
yeah.
bit by bit. Like, yeah, we're going somewhere. Da-da-da-da-da-da.
So-
It feels like less of an adventure than the beginning, but like less exciting than some of the fights we've had.
So Search for the Black Stars, fun, whimsical, with some really bad moments.
So, some of the lowest points in general.
Baby Saga almost comes close to the great.
Conceptually
Yeah,
the best.
Comes close.
Interesting,
To some of the good stuff
yeah.
from Z.
Comes close to greatness, fumbles execution hard.
Yeah. 17. Batshit insane.
Love it.
Incredibly fast paced. Dumb as hell.
Really
a
fucking
billion
stupid.
problems. But damn it, I was laughing the entire. I was
I think the fact that there's only so many episodes saves it, yeah.
engaged. What a crazy like load of bullshit.
It's fast. It's boom, done.
And then Bad Dragons.
Eh.
Yeah, it's just boring. There are too many episodes.
There are a lot of peaks and valleys in Dragons.
But at the very least, if the midpoint is a 5, then its good points are a 7, and its low points are at like a 4 maybe.
Well, if you're talking about like good points, like that ending probably up there at like an 8.59.
Oh yeah, 8.59. Yeah. I put that at like an 8 at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, that ending helps the curve
The ending's
quite a bit.
brilliant,
It
yeah.
brings
does
up the
help
average
out.
of that arc significantly.
Yeah, but like, yeah, that is the Shadow Dragons is a kind of boring arc until it's not, and then it just goes on a little too long.
Yeah, that's a lot. Like, the only one that doesn't go on too long is 17.
Yeah, no, it is.
Yeah.
And I guess it is the only one that genuinely just does not.
It's the only one that I feel like needed a little more.
Yeah.
Just one more episode.
Yeah. Like one more episode.
Play with hell a little more.
Yes, an episode where we really get to see everyone fight up against people from hell.
Well, like I was saying, yeah, throw Krillin and bloody Tien against Nappa. Do the what am I trying to say? Do the fights that we originally had, where the villains are like going to be super confident, and then they get their ass handed once again and sent back again. That would have been sick.
And cut one of the episodes with what's it called? Goku and Cell and Frieza. You could cut that down at least a little bit, I think.
Yeah.
And then you would have had, I think, an arc that still would have been bad, but at least it would have been more entertaining. And it's weird. I don't think it's the best arc. I know it's your favorite.
I also wouldn't say it's the best.
Okay.
It is my favorite, though.
What do you think
But it's
the
not the
best
best
arc
one.
is, then? I would
Baby?
do Baby just because it is the
I
one.
can't because like I was so miserable at the end of Baby.
Yeah, but
If I were to
it
say
is
a
the
best
best
arc,
one.
if only because at worst it was middling, Dragons.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that argument, and it's still got some. Again, its moments are still good. It's just like it keeps this like. Again, this mid-tone the entire way through with a couple of bits like, oh, that's cool.
It's like,
all right.
oh yeah, Wind Dragon episode kind of neat, and Mole Dragon looks kind of funny. Oh, he has 2 episodes.
Yeah. So it's like it's whatever, but yeah, I guess I would agree that the Bad Dragons are probably the best arc. So yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's GT.
Yeah, I'm so glad we are done with GT. I never ever have to watch it again. And now I feel
we're done with GT, thank God.
And anytime I talk about it in the future, I don't have to second guess myself at all. It's bad, and you're right in your opinions, just as much as I am.
Is it the worst that Dragon Ball ever got, like outside of Evolution?
I don't know. Definitely hard to argue. I mean, there's probably one worse.
What would that be?
Well, we did just finish GT.
Yes.
Yeah, and there's another Dragon Ball series that we haven't watched through.
I've seen Super,
we've done
you
it.
Can't get me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because I think we are going to do Super.
Fuck off.
Heroes.
We're doing Super Dragon Ball Heroes.
Is that the card game?
So they announced it in
It's,
this.
it's the card game series that has a little web anime.
And I'm glad that we checked that out, because it was actually quite entertaining.
Oh no.
Damn. Hey, you enjoy the first bit,
No.
and then it becomes hateful. It's good.
No!
So there you go, guys. We did it. We checked out the thing. That was fun. Very enjoyable. I hope I get it uploaded before the end of the day. I'm very intoxicated. Like you have no idea. I'm very, very drunk right now. So I'm gonna keep this short and swift. But I hope you guys have had a great year. We're going into 2025. There's changes coming. There's literal changes coming to the channel. But I'm going to let it be natural. I'm not going to announce it right now. I'm just going to let you see it. The reactions aren't going anywhere. So if you like the reactions, stay. But I'm just adding more. Basically, just adding more. Right, yeah. I need to pee again. Thanks for watching.
Like and subscribe. So